Joined by Studio. This is our first time on the main stage. Are you guys ready for some League of Legends? I hope so.
Make some noise. You guys get loud in that. That is more like it.
All right. Now, this game is going to be between Legion and Curse NA. Now, I may be from Curse. I may be a tiny bit biased. But I'm going to put everything aside because I just want to see an awesome 3-game series. I want this to go the distance. I want this to go the entire way. If this becomes just a 2-game kind of swash, I'm just going to cry. And you guys don't want to see a Ginger cry whatsoever.
It's ugly.
Yeah, it's very, very bad. But is there any particular bands you think we're going to see out of this game? I mean, Mortis, obviously known for his jungle Alistar, but we just saw St. Vicious play a really good Alistar as well.
I had no idea he played that. People said, no, St. Vicious on Alistar, not going to happen, but he can play him. I mean, Mortis, they've got Alistar on Curse. There's always a Vladimir band that we see so often aimed at West Rice, so there's a lot of possibilities. I think people are going to go for the strategies that work. Maybe not banning out a specific player just because, you know, everybody has so many viable options right now.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I'm interested to see. I haven't really been able to watch any Legion games so far, but it sounds like Wild Turtle, or the Tortoise. I don't know if he has aged whatsoever, but it sounds like he's been running amok as far as mid lane is concerned. Do you have any experience with Wild Turtle?
Gragas, Ari, Morgana, you give him a character, he is good with it. Like I asked him before, he learned Gragas in 2 weeks. Half of it was just from ARAMs, just learning how to position the ult when there's 5 people grouped together like that. Well,
hopefully that will work to their advantage. They came through, and they have been playing spectacularly. They actually knocked WE down to the losers bracket. The only reason they're here is because they did play a very formidable TSM, and then we saw the other kind of Europe Asian killers as Curse. They knocked WE out of the tournament, so Legion went down, and then Curse went for the alley-oop and just knocked WE right out of this thing. So we're going to have an interesting match right here in just a few minutes. Couple picks and bans. We're currently in the champion select, so I hope we can actually jump right to that, which we are. It's no big deal. Malphite going to be the first ban from Curse. Legion branding out Shen. So I mean, we saw what Curse could do against Shen in that last game. You know, Madballs was absolutely shut down by West Rice. Every time he tried to go to the aid of his team, it was for naught. He went down.
Flash apprehend every single time he would get shut down. But you know, he's still a scary champion. You can't always pick Darius as much as people want to. Vladimir, first pick coming out for Curse. You know, West Rice is good with him. It's a solid pick, and it can 1v2, which they've been doing like crazy lately.
Yeah, and that is an instant lock right there. West Rice on Vladimir. It is one of his actually most comfortable and most played champions. So we'll be excited to see that up top lane, perhaps even in a 1v2 situation. And then Morgana, Nai, Jackie. You don't ban it, he's going to get it. I mean, it's as simple as that. You can basically set your watch by it. It's clockwork. Nai, Jackie, Morgana, we're going to see some more pixel-perfect bindings. And I mean, he didn't do a bad job as Corki, I'll say that either.
When NY Jackie plays Morgana, you have to change how you initiate because his reaction times are so fast with Black Shield. Every time Maokai tries to do something with his Rue, every time a snowball comes out from, I believe, Italy played by Inubish or Mortis, every time that snowball comes out, he will react fast enough just to Black Shield any sort of hard initiation. It is not easy to deal with.
Yeah, he's very, very quick like that. And actually, Corky switching up to Graves right there. Cop played an excellent Graves as well last game, trying to hit some long range. Actually, in the game 2, before we kind of had to remake game 2, he had a really long range collateral damage to snipe, and it was absolutely beautiful. So Maokai and Nunu being picked out, you know, you could say maybe a support Maokai and jungle Nunu, but you got to send Maokai back to his home of the jungle. He's going to be friendly among those trees. And actually, will we perhaps see a Twisted Fate from Wild Turtle? We haven't really seen much Twisted Fate here. I know that we had the really, really good Twisted Fate player here the other day, but he was, of course, knocked out. Never was able to get to that level. But we could see a Twisted Fate here. And Legion, I believe, had a nice, like, last-minute Nexus backdoor with Twisted Fate before.
Game 1 versus MTW North America, they won the game with the Nexus backdoor after about 40 minutes of trying to push them in. Gragas being selected, Heimerdinger.
Do it. People want the Heimer.
I want to see the turrets, come on. Don't do it, Lord. Aww. Hey, Gragas is awesome, though.
Gragas is awesome, but not as awesome as the Heimdanger. He is awesome. Look, you're already getting dissent from the crowd. They've turned on you, Legion. What are you going to do now? But Cruiser will be playing Aurelia. And Aurelia is actually more commonly respected as a pretty hard counter to Vladimir.
if the lane goes well, between level 1 and 5, eventually Aurelio will just be able to just hunt Vladimir down. He doesn't have the mobility. He can pull, but it's not going to be enough. Elements picking up Sona. We have seen Elements playing a lot of Sona recently. He is good with her. He can land the crescendos like crazy unless he completely whiffs them, which has happened. And he knows how to, control the lane with that power card, with that Hymn of Valor harass.
It's very, very scary when you're in the lane with it. And then we will have Skarner in the jungle being played by St. Fishes. He's played it a couple times. Not as famous for it as like his Shyvana per se, but he can still land some nice flash grabs. And then Corki, perhaps to round out the lineup for LgN. So if it is Corki, which we're going to go ahead and talk about it, hoping that they actually pick it in and they don't troll us again. A new Corki bot lane versus the Graves and Sona. Who do you give the edge to?
The problem is I can't actually give an edge to one team just because we don't know if it's going to be a 2v1 or a 2v2. Curse, every time they've been playing, I'd say 90% of the matches, it's been a 2v1 top lane, 1v2 bot lane, and they're good at it. If Legion can respond appropriately, get that 2v2. I like new Corki. It's just strong, lots of DPS coming out. But, if Sona Graves can get that harass out, that's not easy to deal with.
If it comes down to a 2v1 situation, or for both teams, who has the more aggressive tower pressure? Is it Corki Nunu with the Blood Boil, or is it Graves with the Wave Clear of Buckshot? That's a big difference there.
Corki does have a wave clear with Phosphorus Bomb, so there's a lot of possibilities. At the same time, Blood Boil, I think, would just be more turret damage in the end. I do think Westrice, though, he's playing Vladimir. He has a lot of wave clear up, with that Transfusion, Tides of Blood. He's got options. Aurelia kind of has to get in there, to use her abilities until she hits level 6. So
it feels weird to have to talk about these because we're so used to the past, like months and months and months. We've always had 1v1 top, 2v2 bot, and then the 1v1 mid with the junglers. Things are starting to change, and things are starting to change quickly, especially at such a pivotal time. We've got PAX coming up, we've got the regionals, we've got MLG Raleigh, and then we have, of course, other events all around the globe. But it's an interesting time for things to change, if you ask me. Do you think this is for the better, or do you think, the old style was the way to go?
Man, if everything stayed the same, this game would just be boring. This would be Twisted Fate nonstop. We're actually going into the game. It's going to be a pretty sweet setup, I think.
I hope so. This is going to be Team Legion versus Team Curse in the losers bracket finals. Now, I want to separate the teams here and see if there are any Legion fans that actually want them to win this game and go up and face TSM again to perhaps take the grand finals. Let me hear you cheer. A little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And then maybe the hometown favorite. If anyone has an affinity for Curse, let's hear you guys cheer for this game. That pretty much was resounding, I would say. But then I also want to throw in, just if you guys are here to watch some great League of Legends actions with 2,000 of your closest friends, let's hear everyone cheer for some League of Legends, right guys? Alrighty. This game is still loading up. We'll be in just a second. Should we talk about skins? Looks like Curse has the advantage in skins. Oh no, I'm sorry, Legion does, so Legion will take this game.
Wild Turtle is looking fabulous. The skins, they are amazing. Riot really improved them over the years, going from Rusty Blitzcrank all the way to things like Pulsar, Ezreal. We are in game now, though.
Will we see some level 1 aggression from either team? To me, I've pretty much cast every Curse game so far this tournament we have together, so we are very, very familiar with what they've been doing. Level 1, they like to go for a defensive Wraith ward, meaning they put a Wraith on their Wraith on their own ward. That's backwards. They put a ward on their own Wraith, but it looks like they're going to switch it up a little bit, perhaps go to the enemy Wraiths. They are pinging that brush. Will we see a level 1 fight here? Both teams may meet each other right here. They are unaware. The Sapperling is going to be a big determining factor here. He throws the Sapperling, is going to spot all 5 members of Curse. That is going to be a big deterrent. But will they perhaps go back in? Oh, second time's the charm, I suppose. Unless he can throw another sapling in there. Maokai, relatively well known for starting race with his Sapperlings. But if he uses enough to spot, then he's not going to have time to set enough at race to take it very, very quickly.
He does spot Curse trying to go for the invade. The ward has been placed, and Legion knows what's going on. That ward is very common, gives you a lot of information. And if you look, actually, Legion themselves have placed a similar ward at Curse's raid. So both teams have a good idea of where the jungler is going to be, expecting these ganks, expecting any sort of invade. Yeah, and the ward there, is of course to spot the enemy jungler, but what it doesn't spot also gives you a lot of information. You know where the jungler is not as well, which is going to be really, really pivotal. But they see that Maokai looks like he's going to be starting those race, so they know exactly what his route is. It's usually race straight over to blue buff, but maybe could we see perhaps an early red buff and level 2 gank up top from Lauda Mortis? It's always possible, but, you know, both teams are expecting the worst to happen.
Is Jackie going to steal the Wraith of the Dark Binding? Yes, he is, and there he goes. So the first creep kill of the game, a big creep onto Jackie. He is absolutely destroying the other AP mid with 1 CS right now. It's looking really, really good for him. Legion is going to come over and transition to their own blue buff. Mortis going to just throw a Sapperling and punch it, because that is what he does. We are going to see a 2v1 top for Curse and a 2v1 bot for Legion. Who do you think can sustain and work with it better, Aurelia or Vladimir?
Aurelia's going to have to deal with power chords, Hymns of Valor, bullets, bug shots, so many things going towards her face. At the same time, Vladimir, he does have transfusion. He has a bit more HP, should be able to survive a little bit more. And
we see what is going to happen. Noobish is actually coming behind Wester. He's going to throw the snowball just to say a hi, how you doing? He does take a tower hit and a big transfusion. Already down to 50% health. Going to have to burn one of his potions, but still, I mean, Westrice looks like he's in a good place. You know, Nunu can come up there and throw a few snowballs just to say, hey, open up a snowball stand, why don't you have some? But it's not going to pressure him that much. But actually, there's a flash aggression from Mortis. He will apply red buff, but a counter flash from St. Vicious will get him out of there. I believe Mortis actually did get that red buff from Saint.
You steal a Wraith from me, I will steal a red buff from you, and Mortis making an aggressive stance here. Actually heading towards the mid lane, could be going for a gank onto Jackie.
Looks like he's just going to walk on by, say, hey, how you doing, go back to his own race, and then perhaps get his own red. Do you think St. Vicious could be in a position to counter red buff there?
It's going to be tough because Mortis got the experience. He's just farther ahead right now, and a lot of damage was taken by Saint just trying to take it down.
Up top, there was Macy at 2-1-2 between the jungler, the single solo top, and the duo. What will happen? The Equilibrium Strike comes off, but only slows. There's the Ignite, and the Exhaust will go down here. That is first blood. Can they make it a double kill? Chasing on to Elements. The Arcane Smash knock up. Red buff is applied. Forced to burn his flash. Will Blade Surge be up in time to take it off? One more hit. A nice area of perseverance. Will he go down? But will Cruiser take the tower instead? No. He only falls to about 200 HP. The first blood of this game being spilt by LgN Cruiser and Mortis.
And that is what Legion wants this to start with, the aggression coming out. They've taken control of that top lane. Aurelia now has a lot of control. She'll have experience. She'll be level 6 and will actually be able to hold the 2v1 fairly well. Mid lane Wild Turtle taking a lot of damage, actually. The binding and pull hitting him quite hard. You know, that's the thing with Gragas. If we're going to actually land something, it'll hurt. And bot lane being pressured quite a bit by Demon Lul and Inubish.
Yeah, Westrice has already burned through all 3 of his potions. His only means of sustain now is the Tides of Blood and Transfusion, increasing his healing and regen from the Tides of Blood. And then, you know, just using the Q just for good measure. But the Gragas versus Jackie's Morgana, we've seen that matchup a couple times. And where is it that Jackie can pull ahead that we've seen?
Once Jackie hits level 6, if Wild Turtle ever gets out of position with that body slam, the ult's going to come down, he's just going to chase him down and murder him. That's what Jackie likes to do. If you are out of position, he will bind you, he will root you, he will apply his ultimate, and you will die.
Yeah, and I'm very excited. You know, like I said, I've seen Jackie beat the Gragas mid before, but I've also never seen Wild Turtle's Gragas, so maybe the man is just a machine.
I heard it's a bit wild.
It is a bit wild, and he's a tortoise. Mortis actually coming for the tower dive here. The twisted advance and knockup will land on Elements, but Mortis goes down himself. Will Cop be able to turn this around? He is double buffed. He's trying to chase on the Cruiser. The smoke screen to slow him down a little bit, but Cruiser just a hair too fast. He does have the Ninja Tabby. He had the Boots 2 move speed right there, but Westrice actually in a bad way down here with the Gatling gun and auto attack damages of Demon Lull, but he's going to be okay at the safety of his own turret. He's got about 120 health. Do you think he'll be able to sustain up and stay in that lane, or is he going to go back and potentially lose his turret?
I mean, whatever he decides, he has to make sure that he has the backup. Skarner is around there to make sure that if there is any sort of turret dive, it will not result in his death. Actually spotted Inubish.
Looks like Inubish is going to find a little scorpion in the jungle, and St. Vicious is going to shield and get on out of there after taking a snowball. Inubish and Demon Lull going to pressure this turret now. Vladimir looks like he's recalling. Can't quite see. It's quite off screen, but this is going to be a 2-on-1 again. But St. Vicious down here. The fact that he has to stay in this lane to defend this turret means that Mortis, if he so desires, can get an easy gank up top, which it looks like it's actually going. He's twisted advance up top. Knock up again onto Elements. Elements is just eating those twisted advance and arcane smashes, and Jackie is not in mid lane to collapse on this. Elements could go down here. The Blade Surge and Equilibrium Strike with the Heat 10 style true damage will take him down. Man, Maokai is he's setting up a camp up top, and he is doing so well.
Maokai's actually on permaban in Europe right now. It's really hard to get him into a game, and we're seeing why. He can gank so well with that twisted advance. Once he is on you, you cannot get him off just because of that Arcane Smash, keeping you slow, keeping you knocked up, and just keeping you in range of all that damage.
That's definitely how it works. He already has the Boots of Mobility and the Ruby Crystal, along with the Fairy Charm. So foregoing an early Philo Stone, you know, from that early kill, and just saying, I just want to move as fast as possible. I want to go fast. And that is exactly what he's doing, and it is paying dividends for him right now. An interesting choice to go for the Boots of Mobility over the Philo Stone, just because, you know, it pays off in the end. But, I mean, it's his shoes. You can't complain about those.
Hey, it's working. He's 1-1-3. That is a lot of kills for, you know, the passive games we've been seeing out of Curse lately.
Yeah, and Jackie, using that expert positioning that we saw just last game, he likes to stay right behind that kind of torch and just throw out blind dark bindings because you can't dodge what you can't see. And Wild Turtle, but he's playing well because he's staying behind his own creeps, and he's actually waiting for those dark bindings to come out before he decides to body slam in and CS a little bit.
He's playing safe, and normally a lot of Dracuses there would actually body slam to CS, then you know what, Jackie goes to town, applies his ultimate, lands the binding, usually gets a kill.
Yeah, because Jackie is level 7 now, so it's very, very scary. That option is on the table for him. Up top, early Dragon from LgN, Lana Mortis is going to start that up. There are 2 people up top, so this is obviously the advantage of LgN. Will Curse be able to collapse on it? Here comes Jackie and Vladimir. He doesn't look like a Saintfish is a little bit too far away. Unless Jackie goes absolute man mode, will there be a Dark Binding? Will he steal that Dragon? Who will be the Dragon Slayer today? Can he? Now Dark Binding smite.
Oh.
Lana Mortis smites a little early, giving the kill to Corki, but that gave room for a Dark Binding to potentially steal that.
That was almost Torment Soil stealing it, actually. Just a split second just too soon.
That would have been absolutely clutch. But, I mean, that's what happens. When your enemy opponent, Redundant, has a 2v1 up top, you know you have an advantage down bot because you have your own 2v1 down bot, and you can take Dragon as much as you want because they're just so far away. And no teleports either.
That's actually originally why it became a 2v2 in the bot lane. That's why it was like that for about a year before we started transitioning out of that meta.
Yeah, and is it just the case that teams start to realize the value maybe lies in towers rather than, you know, those early Dragons?
That's what they've been thinking lately, but we don't see any turrets being taken right now. The defense from Irelia and Vladimir has been very solid. The 9-minute mark is actually pretty late for a turret to go down from Curse's latest strategies. And
Saint Vicious already has his own oracles. I don't believe there's an oracles on the side of LgN. Let's take a look. Lana Mortis does not have one. So the jungler, oh, Saint Vicious, here he comes. He is level 6. Will he be able to lock onto Wild Turtle? There's the flash, but the body slam in response. Wild Turtle able to get out of there with his life, but Lana Mortis has blood in his eyes. He has the boots of mobility. Will he be able to get there? No, it does not look like it. And Wild Turtle, he is holding on to his ultimate because he kind of respects the quick reflexes of Nia Jacky. We've seen Nia Jacky many times apply Black Shield while Gragas' ultimate is in the air to mitigate the kind of position disruption.
Actually, against Orbit, that was the case. They could never get a good initiation off. Actually, invasion onto the red buff has been spotted by Curse. They're trying to collapse around it. 3 members coming in from Curse, 4 members coming in from Legion. They do snag it. Seems like they're just going to back right on out of there. So far, Saint Vicious hasn't been able to touch his own red buff. Dark Binding? Nope. Just going to pass right on by. Wild Turtle stutter steps a little bit to put a ward in that bottom brush. Still 2v1 up top. Aurelia, is she doing well for herself? She has 52 CS compared to the 2v1 down bot of 30 CS for Vladimir. He did buy that Doran's Shield and that Amplifying Tome, while Aurelia has a Phage, has Ninja Tabby, and has a Doran's Blade. Aurelia is actually doing very solidly, 24 CS above Vladimir. That's a lot. And, she's 3-0-1. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good, pretty good. Those ganks from Lana Mortis are paying off hugely. He's just getting his 2v1 up to the speed of a 1v1 pretty much, and it's working really, really well. Vladimir very, very, very far behind in that respect. And Dark Binding just landing out Dark Bindings right now with that blue buff. He can throw them out however often that he wants, and he's just waiting for that time to use his ultimate. Just waiting for Wild Turtle to go in and CS. Wild Turtle playing very safely, something is up, just goes ahead, throws down his barrel, drinks a bit, and plays safe. And this is what we've been seeing lately. You get a bit of an advantage, you play safe, you don't go for those crazy risks, because if you die in lane, you can throw away so much advantage you've gained. Looks like Graves is 1-1-0 with 73 CS to the 77 CS of Corki, who is 0-0-0. No real definitive build prediction from Corki so far, but that pickaxe on Cop tells me he could be going for an Infinity Edge. How do you feel about him building an Infinity Edge if Corki was supposed to go to a Trinity Force route? Well, normally what you do as Graves, especially when you're 2v1 like this, you should be getting a lot more farm and possibly kills onto someone like Cruiser. So he should be going for the Infinity Edge just because he'll get it fast. He'll be doing so much more damage so quickly. Well, Corki, if he gets a Triforce, he's going to be pretty tanky, have good control with the Triforce proc, but it won't actually be that effective. Lodamar's actually going for a gank on the top lane. Can he get the root onto Elements? He's just out of range. He actually does get the root off. The smash does land. Elements doesn't have his ultimate yet. Lots of damage coming onto him. Can they get the kill? Elements does go down. Will cop chase. He will back off.
Elements 0, 4, and 1 right now. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yes, still level 5. Hasn't even had the 6th mark. Because he just keeps getting ganked by Mortis. Mortis is really, really putting the pressure on up top. He's saying, you want a 2v1 up there? I'll come and make it a 2v2, and we'll see how you do. And so far, Sona and Graves are not looking so good. Nubish and Demon Lul, first turret of the game goes down, that tier 1 bot turret. Jackie goes back. Skarner's going to cover the mid lane. Maokai is just farming his own race. Demon Lul's going to take this opportunity to go back and perhaps purchase. Maybe would he go for a phage this route, or do you think he's going to stay true and go for an Infinity Edge and chase that Graves?
Probably go for an Infinity Edge. Yep, there's a pickaxe. You know, he needs the damage. He's ahead. He knows he is. They have the kills. They have the dragon. And they have that turret too. And now that that bottom turret is down, I wouldn't be surprised to see actually Corki and Nunu go mid lane or top lane just to keep that pressure up.
And Jackie taking a lot of damage from those barrels. Wild Turtle does have a needlessly large rod already, only to Jackie's blasting one. They both have the double Dorans. Jackie actually going boots 2, which is something we don't always see. He usually stays boots 1 for a long time, but a lot of Legion is actually near this mid lane. Jackie is going to spot them with that ward. They want this blue buff, so Mortis doing a great job of timing all the buffs and not giving a single one to Curse so far. It's not looking good, but Nubish caught in a dark binding. Going to tick down with the Tormented Soil, but it looks like he's going to be A-okay. Saintfish tries to go in for a steal, but he is actually going to get the short end of that stick. There's the Blade Surge, an Equilibrium strike, but he's able to get away. The Gragas Barrel actually knocks him to safety. Jackie may fall after the Soul Shackles. Will Cruiser be able to follow up on that? No. And Mortis falls to Westrice. Westrice in a bad place with the Sanguine Pool, but Cop still very, very healthy. But Sona, she is very low on mana. Can they do anything here? Cruiser now in a 3-on-1 situation in the enemy jungle. Will he be able to escape? Nunu, do you really want to go back in there? Do you want to snowball and take an extra buckshot? Looks like he does not. Cruiser, you are going man mode. Where are you going to die? Will you die? You are just escaping the enemy jungle. This is the great escape right there. And Cruiser makes it out of that with his life with only 200 health. Couldn't see that one coming.
Let's go ahead and see if we can get a good replay of that going on screen. That was an amazing fight coming out from Curse. I don't know if he can get it on, so we'll just have to actually avoid that for now. But, you know, that play coming out, you know, they had a lot going on to Morgana. They tried to get it done, but it did not work. NY Jackie getting such a good ultimate off. Oh, there we go. So it comes out. The blue is being attacked right now by Legion. They're able to secure it. Everybody's grouped up. I was caught to the side. It doesn't really matter, though, because they're focusing on the blue buff. They decide to initiate onto St. Vicious now, doing quite a bit of damage. Mortis immediately just goes for that binding, and then instant impale comes out from St. Vicious, just trying to keep himself alive. This lets Jackie get into the middle of everybody, getting this awesome ultimate off. Everybody's focusing, but Elements with the crescendo over the wall just sees everybody, lets that damage go from Jackie, and he barely walks away as Cruiser's trying to do anything he can. With that, first they group up, and they just take out everybody left, with Westrice using Sanguine Pool to dodge the absolute zero from Nubish, and just clean up from here.
Yeah, and Demon Lul will be the last one to fall on that one. So we'll actually jump right back into live, see what's going on in the rest of this game. It looks like Mortis just finishing off that family of wolves. What did they ever do to you, sir? 1, and 2 for Vladimir, 58 CS. To the other solo lane, Aurelia, 86 CS, 4, 0, and 2. She is almost getting that Trinity Force. She just needs to pick up a Zeal and then 300 extra gold. She will be very, very scary.
That she will, even with that fight, even with Curse getting just those 3 solid kills, they're still behind about 3,000 gold at this point. It's quite a large number for only the 15-minute mark. You know, one good fight and a dragon or just even turrets can easily bring that down, though.
And now, while Gragas is only 0-1-0 with 125 CS, you know, to Jackie's 1-0 and 2 with 128 CS, his ultimate is really, really key in these team fights. Who's going to be the more scary AP mid coming into a 5-on-5 team fight?
If Jackie is paying attention, has the reaction times, he can black shield anything Wild Turtle wants to do. So unless Wild Turtle gets a really good, you know, barrel just to break the black shield, it's going to be all Jackie.
All right, we'll see what happens when the time does come. Dragon should be up in just a little bit. Nunu does have a GP10 ticking, while Maokai does have 2 for himself. GP10's looking at Curse. It looks like you have 2 on the Maokai, or Skarner rather, and 2 onto Sona. So they're sitting about even as far as GP10s are concerned. Those will start ticking, and those will start making a big impact later in the game.
It's how teams have been staying relevant, actually. We've seen a few turnarounds just because one team would stack GP10 items and go for that late game engage when you see thousands of gold just earned from nothing but GP10s.
Yeah, it's very, very impressive to see. Got the needlessly large and the amplifying tome there on Gragas, along with the double Dorans. What are we going to see him build? Is this going to be a Zhonya's or just a Death Cap, or they just pick it up just for some light reading?
That will probably turn into a Cage's Lucky Pick, eventually a Deathfire Grasp. We've seen that burst combo where you use a DFG into the Gragas Soul, into a Gragas Barrel, body slam for good measure, and ignite if they're still somehow alive, and you die. That's what Gragas does. He kills you with all of his abilities doing immense amounts of damage, having incredibly good AP ratios.
And Lauda Mortis with that Oracles now he's just been living in that bottom jungle of Curse. Westrice, what are you doing? You're about to meet a few members of LgN. Hey, welcome to the party. There's a snowball. The Hemo Plague used defensively, and the Sanguine Pool. What's going to happen? He will go down very quickly to 3 members of LgN who have pretty much set up a camping ground in the Curse bottom jungle because of that alleviated pressure. I believe up top, actually, we have some action going on between Cruiser and 3 members of Curse. We can actually hopefully cut back to that in a second for a quick replay after that kill onto Wester's down bot. Meantime, Curse going to pressure up this top turret. Not just pressure, take it down. LgN also taking down. We're going to go ahead and jump right to that instant replay to see exactly what we missed up top.
So the first thing that happened is Cruiser went aggressive, but guess what? St. Vicious was there looking for the gank. The exhaust is used onto Cruiser. He tries to escape, but you know what? There's just too much CC. Fights there. The Sona Crescendo comes out, and they just take him out.
Wow, they used a lot of ultimates to secure that kill, but looks like they did take down Tier 1 top turret. Tier 3 bot turret for LgN. Looks like it took a little bit of damage after they killed that Tier 2 after securing the kill onto Westrice. Wild Turtle putting on some damage. Demon Lull is going to Valkyrie over that wall just to help him out. And that turret will go down. So now we have 3 turrets on the advantage of LgN to 1 of Curse, 2 kills, and about 4K gold.
Don't forget the one dragon they took early too, and they're going to go top lane. They just want to take out these turrets, actually take out this blue buff. This is the last time they fought with Curse, just going for the blue buff, and it was greatly in their favor. Will they actually go for it again, and will it be the same?
But look how far away Vladimir is to this fight. Lauda Mortis does get bound. It goes down very, very quickly. Not even the Twisted Advance Intangibleness can save him from that. And Anubish with a nice long-range auto attack from Sona. She is going to start to carry this game, and a nice stutter step from Demon Lull will actually get him away from that Dark Binding. So even without Vladimir, Curse came out on top of that with some great stuff.
And that is just Jackie. Every time Jackie lands a binding, he follows it up with Tormented Soil, and the damage is just insane. If he gets the Soul Shackles off and gets the full channel, you are stunned. You are just helpless as the rest of Curse will just group up and murder you. Yeah, that's every member of the team. And Soul Shackles, of course, slows your movement speed if it's applied to you. And Curse is just like, all right, we can follow up on that. Between Graves, Quick Draw, Sona, Crescendo, they have a lot of stuff to lock you down. This game is just even. I mean, this is just 3K gold in the advantage of LgN, just because really of the Dragons, 7-7 as far as kills are concerned. But the fights have been in the advantage of Curse so far. And just looking at the gold overall right now, there's a lot of gold on the Graves, a lot of gold on the Corki. Just the APs and the ADs have so much cash, which is scary for both teams because, if Graves gets free shots off, if Corki gets those free shots off, they will just melt people at this point. Yes, they will. The Infinity Edge was just completed onto Corki. Graves does have his as well, including the Vamp Scepter and the Dagger. So we'll see the normal kind of Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer rush that a lot of AD carries do. Except for Corki. Corki usually goes for a Trinity Force, but it's interesting to see him going Infinity Edge. You said before, it's just because he was so far ahead, or you felt that he was in that 2v1 lane. He just wanted to put out as much damage as possible with his auto attacks. Hopefully Vladimir's not able to 2v1 or 1v2 in the bot lane. That's what they were looking for with that. I mean, he's got that Vamp Scepter just in case, and Dragon should be respawning soon. Looks like a lot of pressure coming out from both teams as Curse and Legion converge around that area. Jackie has his Abyssal Scepter and his Spellpin Boot, so he's not only going to take less damage from Gragas' abilities, he's also just going to deal a lot more damage, and it's not going to be good for Legion. As all Cruiser the Bruiser does want to get in on this. He is on Aurelia. She's a very, very in-your-face kind of top laner. We'll see if they can make something happen with this Dragon fight. LgN slowly making their way. Curse just biding their time with the speed up from Elements, the Hymn of Celerity. Will they be able to catch anyone? Coming from behind, might be a flank here. Will Legion see it? Will Demon Lull get caught? The Dark Binding, no, nothing. They didn't even go on it. They decided against it. So Curse just second guessing themselves, I guess, wanting to save all of their abilities for a bigger fight. I mean, that was like a Corki served up on a silver platter from what it seemed. That was 300G just waiting to go to Curse at that point. Will they fall for it twice? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Will they get it? They're coming to this Dragon. They're pretty far away. That Tier 1 turret is still there, but it looks like they're just going to go towards the Dragon Pit. LgN, no vision of them whatsoever.
what's going to happen. St. Vicious, when will you make your move? When will you strike? Stalking his prey.
They have to defend because they will push down this turret unless
Oh, there he goes, and he is spotted. He does have the oracles, which is worth a good bit of money. He doesn't want to lose that investment. But man, LgN is between a rock and a turret right here. The flash with the counter flash body slam from Wild Turtle puts around this for 5-man Hemo play. And there's the absolute zero. The Gragas ultimate disengages from West Strice. West Strice falls. And then a lot of damage. There goes Nunu. Morgana. This is great for LgN. They're starting to clean up right now. Cruiser the Bruiser absolutely zoning elements from the fight. But Cop, can you clean up? Can you do it? No. Janitor Cop has to quit the job. He's not on tenure just yet.
On. You gotta Elements,
get out of there. Use your move speed. The twisted advance will land with the arcane knockup. There it is, catching Elements in a bad place. Absolutely fantastic team fight from Legion.
And we definitely have to take another look at that. Great play. Great play coming out. Let's go ahead and just take another look at it. So right now, Legion's rushing towards this turret, trying to go ahead, put some push on as Curse comes in from behind. Both teams just not confident to initiate. Eventually, Wild Turtle takes a drink, baits out the flash from St. Vicious. The binding does not land, but West Strice with that amazing 5-man Hemo play just completely shuts it down. The crescendo was just not enough because Wild Turtle launches everybody far away. His ultimate doing immense amounts of damage, and just the AoE and burst from Gragas takes out West Strice. It takes out Jackie, who's even more supporting in the back. At the same time, though, St. Vicious and Cop are just not harmed, doing so much DPS. St. Vicious does get taken down, but Cop finally shoots down Demon Lord just because he had that time in the back to go ahead and continually do that damage. Just amazing play from both sides as Elements try to float on, but, well, Golems will spawn and dance in the middle of that, and rest in peace, Elements.
A 5-man Hemo play turned into a fight that Legion actually won. I thought it was bad news all over for that. St. Vicious waiting for the smite steal. He does have it up. Will he be able to calculate it? There's the Gragas ultimate. And then the vengeful mail trap on top of that, reducing a lot of the damage from Nine Jackie's ultimate. He does stun Law of Mortis. The transfuge will finish him off. And a flash to dodge that big one from Corky, but the Valkyrie hot in pursuit. A long range missile will get the double kill. And now Cop, what are you going to do? Blade Surge and Equilibrium Strike will stun you. Can Demon Lord and Wild Turtle follow up on this? The quick draw to safety, trying to get there. Did he dodge him? A nice dark binding almost saves him, locking down his pursuer of Cruiser, but the entire rest of the team of Legion could not be stopped, and they take an absolutely fantastic dragon fight for their advantage.
And now a 5,000 gold lead in favor of Legion, about to be 6,000. They are looking so strong right now. Wild Turtle on Gragas, he's just getting these good ults, getting this just high damage out, and I don't know if Curse can deal with it right now.
Yeah, it's great because it's high damage and it's just such a stupid position disruptor.
You are just in the worst position. All of a sudden, you're drunk to the side, to the corner, just like, where am I? How did I get here? What did I drink last night?
Yeah, it's absolutely insane in that respect. The Abyssal Scepter pickup from Jackie is interesting. He builds it a lot, but in the, like 2 team fights ago, I feel like if he may have favored Azania's Hourglass at that point in time.
Azania's would be awesome because you can press that 2, press 1, whatever you bound it to. Guess what? You're sitting there. You cannot be moved or damaged by anything coming out from Gragas, and your ult has a good chance to actually finish channeling. The problem with Abyssal is he has tankiness, yeah, but there's just too much damage overall coming out. The MR is just not enough.
Yeah, you see the 5-1 and 7 Aurelia with 133 CS. She's actually got the makings of what looks to be a Guardian Angel. So if you weren't killing her before, you're definitely not going to kill her now. It's going to be absolutely brutal for Team Curse. The DFG now finished onto Gragas with the Rabadon's Death Cap. That is going to be hitting for a large percentage of an enemy's health. You know, Vladimir may perhaps be the main target because he does scale with his Crimson Pact. He gets a lot of health. But I mean, Gragas, he can just throw that thing around and it will deal damage. That's
and actually, facts. Vladimir only has that 1 Negatron cloak for magic resist, so the burst coming out from Gragas is going to be high. It's just, I mean, that's the thing. Gragas will do amazing damage. You have to punish him for being a melee character. You have to punish him because he has relatively long cooldowns for his normal spells, but it's just not happening right now.
Yeah, 1, 4, and 12 as well on Malcolm. Lot of Mortis, he's playing exceptionally well. Will Legion run into Curse coming into their own jungle? They will spot Curse with that ward. And Sapperlings are playing a key role in this game. They're just free, tiny little wards.
You know, having the ability to just keep every entrance blocked off. Curse has never really gotten a good, pin. Even that fight bot lane, I think Legion was actually baiting that out. So every time Curse goes for that fight, that surprise, there's a sapling, there's a ward, there's, Corky firing rockets to try and get that sound, that vision.
Right now, Curse looks like they're hanging around the Baron area. Wild Turtle going to go ahead and refresh his blue buff right there. Maokai is going to push the mid. He's got the boots of mobility, which are really paying off. He has gained a lot of move speed. He's been able to catch a lot of targets with them, which has been crucial for Legion. just barely dodges that Dark Binding. The Wine Caskets thrown out from Wild Turtle will clear that creep wave, followed by the Body Slam. 184 CS on Graves to the 184. They're absolutely pretty much dead even, Corki and Graves, except Graves is 4-2-7 to Corki's 6-2-2.
And there's also the turrets, the dragon. There's a lot of global gold right now in favor of Legion, giving them that little extra edge in terms of items.
Yes, they are up totally about 5k gold, and Curse has little to no vision. It is going to be disrupted right here when Nubish takes that ward. So Curse right now absolutely blind. They know that Legion is around this area. They do have one ward right there, but they're blind. They can't see any members of Legion on the map right now. What will they do? Jackie, will you face check a brush? What's going to happen? Wild Turtle, the entirety of Legion waiting, just patiently waiting in this brush. That's the most important thing. A lot of Mortis. Will you get Dark Bound in the Torment and Soil? The Crescendo follow-up onto 4 members of Legion. But both teams, no one really going all the way in. You know, Curse is, I guess, kind of in a bad place. He pops his Australia, is trying to catch a Demon Low, but the Valkyrie will get him out of there. And now, what will Curse do? What will LgN do? I mean, LgN is spectacular in team fights. Crescendo is down, you're absolutely right. Another Dark Binding Tormented Soil with an Impale from St. Vicious. And now Jackie is in the middle of the team with Soul Shackles, proccing on a Wild Turtle and Cruiser. Wild Turtle falls. And here's the absolute zero, slowing the move speed of St. Vicious. Will they be able to catch him? Yes, they do. And now Westeros, what are you going to do in a 1-on-3 situation? Can Vladimir take this out with his Tides of Blood and Transfusion? A nice flat. The Snowball will follow, and the Valkyrie to follow up for a double kill. Corki taking him down. Legion is a monster in team fights.
And they take out Maokai, but Maokai just isn't the person you want to focus. He's too tanky. He may have gotten some mobility boots, but you know what? He's still a tanky character, even if he can't get that ultimate off. Legion taking out this next turret, just trying to get a nice solid lead. They're already ahead, 7,000 gold. All of a sudden, Baron's going to be easy for them to take. They're going to get that big old creep wave building up at the top lane as Nunu's heading towards there, and they're just getting all the farm, all the gold they can. This is scary for Curse. They keep trying things, but it's just not working. They don't have the vision. They don't have the damage right now.
Yeah, they are very, very down. But I mean, what is their hope? What can they do to come back into this game against Legion? Because Legion is looking good.
Normally, it's going to be something like, oh yeah, get a good binding, just focus them out. But that's what they got in a lot of Mortis. Even with the Impale, it's just not enough. Unless something like Demon Lol walking into the enemy team just, you know, on his own happens. Right now, Curse, they have to make some big AoE play while somehow getting rid of just Wild Turtle's high damage.
Yeah, but can they really even go for a big AoE play with, you know, Maokai's ultimate down? It's a scary thing to walk into.
With Maokai's ultimate, and if they go for the AoE, guess what? You're knocked around by Gragas. So it's not easy. Curse, though, they're smart. They can think of something.
Yeah, but I mean, LgN is riding a wave of success right now. They're looking so good. You know, they, like we said, they were knocked down here by the mighty TSM, who are going to be in the grand finals. So we will see if we will have a rematch up there, but they have to get through this opponent of Curse right now. But right now it's looking very, very good. You do have the Infinity Edge and the Negatron Cloak. Corki, I'm assuming, is probably going to go for a Quicksilver Sash to get out of the Dark Bindings and Soul Shackles and whatnot, and the Skarner Impale.
There's so many skills. You know, once that QS is on him, it's like, I can get away from everything. I'm Corki. I'm just going to shoot you some more. And it's hard to deal with. Once you reach this point in the game where the carries start getting lots of items, the Black Shield's going to be awesome for Graves, but if Corki is able to just do that free farm, because he has the kills, because he has that extra global gold, he's going to do more than Graves can.
Yeah, and these two AD carries are staying neck and neck for CS, 207 to 208 right now. They just ticked up one. That's quite all right. And Jackie, 4-2-7, 198 CS to 247 CS at Gragas. He is absolutely destroying in farm and kills and team fight potential. I mean, like I said, I never saw Wild Turtles Gragas before this, but I'm scared.
ARAMs, man, that's where you got to practice it.
Apparently.
Third dragon being taken by Legion. They keep taking these dragons. What we saw from Curse last game, what we saw from Singapore Sentinel, what we saw from Lee. Whichever team is dominant, they just kind of scoop up every dragon they possibly can, and it's a lot of gold. It builds up so quickly, and you know they're ahead now at 8,000 gold. So that number keeps going higher and higher.
They did spot that ward, and they gave a little tri-punch to it, and it went down in one fell swoop. They did not spot the ward that is just north of them, however, for Curse. Curse going to ward up that brush as well, but they did spot it with their own ward, of course. So LgN is just waiting. Do they want to go into it? Do they want to take down that ward in the vision, or are they going to risk a Dark Binding from NY Jackie? This is basically the same position we were in last time. Curse is aware. They do also see Aurelia does have her GA now. Is this going to be another flank? It's just the game of flanks right now, it seems.
Oh, binding is down as well as Tormented Soul. This is kind of tricky for Curse.
There's the flash aggression from Morris locking down St. Vicious. Jackie in the meantime is in the back lines with his Soul Shackles proccing on 3 members of LgN. St. Vicious is the first to fall in this fight. Jackie will follow shortly thereafter. Westrites with his own Zanyas, but how long will it protect him for? Not very long. They were just waiting for that stasis to come up. And Elements with a nice long-range flash over that wall will get him out of harm's way. Nubish in hot pursuit, but it looks like they're just going to either transition to Baron or start pushing up that mid lane. Baron it looks like. Baron's in pretty easy stuff right here just because of the new Consume Smite. We're going to go right back to a replay to check out that team fight.
And so it started, with the initiation coming in from Legion. They're like, yo, they're pushing our turret. We got to stop them. Jackie misses the binding, though. He misses the soil, and 2 important skills are down. Morris goes into the entire enemy team, gets all their attention, gets the focus onto himself, has the ultimate down. Jackie tries to get a good ult off, doesn't get Corky, though. And with his Zonias, the rest of Legion is able to disengage. Curse and Cop get knocked back in the meantime, and as the damage comes out, they can't keep anybody locked down on the Legion, and Demon Lord will clean up. They'll just clean up everything. Just too much damage coming out. And actually, as this happened, Baron was taken by Legion.
Jump right back on the live to see what they're doing with that Baron buff. Looks like still pretty much the same old, except, of course, that they do have Baron now. Baron being taken off the map. 7 kills in the advantage of Legion. They're up about 11k gold. Again, keep reiterating, it's looking really, really good. You got the GA on Aurelia, along with the Trinity Force, the Negatron Cloak. I'm feeling we're going to see a few Quicksilver Sashes this match.
QSS, it will shut down Skarner, it will shut down Morgana. That's the only way to get on Morgana's ultimate, aside from the flash, or just, leaving the area. It's tricky right now for Curse, because their initiation, their cool tools like Chemo Plague and Morgana's ultimate, they're getting denied. Yeah. They have to find, maybe a Baron skill if possible. Now Legion has Baron. Now Legion not only has a huge gold lead, but the huge stats coming in, and this is like the guillotine falling. Right now, Curse is in a dangerous position. If they make one small mistake, they can lose an inhibitor, possibly lose the game.
2 Quicksilver Sashes already finished on Team Legion, so they're not going to be good targets for an Impale from Skarner, nor a Dark Binding, but sometimes you can't be very picky with that stuff. Sometimes you just got to get what you could get. Beggars can't be choosers. Aurelia, there's the Flash Dark Binding onto Anubis, bringing him right back into the thick of things with Curse, but he is able to get out of there. And now Cruiser with the Hemo Plague on himself. There's a Crescendo trying to lock down members, but Demon Law actually decides to QSS that. Westrice taking out Anubis, their original target from the very start, and Wild Turtle able to body slam out of there as well. So a 1-for-0 exchange in the favor of Curse.
This isn't over yet, though. Westrice possibly caught a position. He does get CC. The Zonius is down. Can Curse show up to back him up? He does use the pool. This is a great delay.
Let's see what happens. He's just going to get out of there. Wow, a nice Zanya straight into his Sanguine pool, and then the pressure of the rest of his team completely deters Legion from continuing that fight. I thought as soon as I saw Zanyas, he was going to be a sitting duck after that. But he is Vladimir, and he's got that Troll Pool.
Troll Pool OP. And right now, Curse, they do have that one person advantage, but it's still scary. There's still just so much, and Element's out of mana, actually.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a big thing. Can't spam all of his hymns and songs and little ditties just yet. He may have to go back to get some mana, but in the meantime, LgN's not letting him go back. They have Baron. They have a percentage-based mana and health regen, additional ability power, and additional attack damage, so they can stay here, they can siege, and they can do whatever they want. They can outlast. This is going to turn into a war of attrition.
And they do have a Sona, but like I said, there is no mana, and Baron buff provides quite a bit of regeneration. A lot of HP coming back on Legion just for being alive.
A lot of Mortis running past the tower. Who does he want to hit with that twisted advance? No one just yet. He just want to kind of bully them off the tower. Westrice will get spotted, but a lot of Mortis again with the Impale. Jackie will he go down for Soul Shackles? No, the perfect Zanya's Hourglass underneath his turret. There goes Maokai. Skarner falls, Morgana falls, and Legion. Will they be able to clean up here? 3 members of Curse are left. Westrice turning on the aggression. The Wild Turtle with a body slam. Will he walk into the barrel? He does! Westrice, what were you doing? You didn't need any booze. You were going to die. And he goes down very, very quickly. And now Legion going to take this tier 2 turret. Again, Legion Cruiser hasn't popped his GA yet.
They cannot kill anybody. They're getting these nice picks. You kill Maokai, you kill Nunu, that's okay, but the real threats are Corky, Gragas, Cop, he's got to do something right now because that turret goes down, the inhibitor goes down, the map is gone, they can't leave their base. They're going to be scared of a fat man coming out of the bushes and getting them drunk.
That is the scariest thing. I worry about that every day of my life, but the top inhibitor will be taken, and now blue buff being pinged by Curse, knowing that that is pretty much Legion's next move to go take their blue buff. They've done it all the time, but Curse not going to be able to contest that whatsoever.
A 13,000 gold lead in favor of Legion. This is it's really kind of just that one big play that Curse needs to make. What that big play is, though, it doesn't make sense for them to do really anything. If they go for a binding, there's Quicksilver Sashes. If they go for a hard initiate, there's a Gragas Ultimate. Legion just has an amazing composition right now, and they're playing it to their fullest.
Yes, indeed they are. The Maokai, the Gragas, the Corki that just stays very, very far away, shoots his missile and his Phospho Bomb. Then you got Aurelia, who just is so adept at just getting in there. You know, especially with the GA, she's not scared. She's not scared whatsoever. She will stick to whomever she pleases, and she will take them down very, very quickly. Nunu does have the Aegis of the Legion rocking for his team. Also Maokai, double Aegis of the Legion, actually. So no matter where you are, as long as you're with a Yeti or a tree, you are always protected there. They're actually going to go ahead and take this dragon with those saplings. Curse, none the wiser. I do not think they have any vision whatsoever on this, and that's just going to be another dragon for Legion, putting them now in a very, very good position. It's going to be 15k gold advantage, huh?
Took a second.
14k.
14k.
Math, not much strong suit.
14.5k maybe? I don't know, but it's a big number, and it's just something that when you see, it's hard to deal with.
It's a large deficit.
Our Quicksilver Sashes, Corki right now actually has
West
almost
Rice.
a full item.
Are you recalling? I hope you are recalling West Rice. Okay, he did. Okay, good. They were trying to come for another flank. This game is just all about positioning, and LgN has done it so expertly so far. They're always just where you least expect it. They're always coming from behind. They're always in a brush somewhere. They are just running this map and running this game right now. They do not have an Oracles. They're not able to clear any of the wards. But there's the barrel. They're just going to pressure bot lane while top lane pushes. That's it. They're saying, Curse, come at me. What's going to happen here? Are you going to engage on this underneath your turret? Or are you going to let your top lane push? I mean, what can Curse do to stop this?
If they try and defend their Nexus, they actually risk losing that bottom turret because it'll be a 4v5. If they don't defend the Nexus, it will start dying. They will lose turrets, and that's just going to be a huge problem. They won't be able to leave their base. So
who's going to engage on this? Is St. Fisher's going to be the one to pull someone? Is he going to flash pull? He does have his flash up. He does have his ultimate up. Just biding his time right now, taking huge damage, absolutely being chunked right there. There's their Gragas ultimate, just for good measure. I'm going to just make them say, hey, you guys, just go back to your Nexus and let us take this turret. Please have a few drinks, loosen up a little bit. Why not? Cruiser still with that GA. Still so scary. I think that's who I'm scared of the most. He is absolutely devastating. There's the eventual Maelstrom. Lotomorris is going in. They want this turret. The wave clear is actually still really good between Buckshot, Tides of Blood, and they just can't. They don't have Baron, of course, so they can't win that war of attrition anymore. They can't sustain out. But they're just going to sit here again. The nice dark binding onto Anubis, but again, kind of the wrong targets.
Anything they get is just going to be incredibly difficult. If they get that binding, all right, it's on Anubis, but anybody else will have that QSS. And Gragas, he uses ult just for damage. It's back up. Actually, binding on a Wild Turtle. Will they do anything with it, though?
Will it happen? Wild Turtle getting absolutely chunked by just some pokes, some Tormented Soils, some Buckshots, and Tides of Blood. But they're going to pull out of this. Legion's going to. But no, there's St. Fisher saying, where are you going? Nowhere. Locking down Anubis with the crescendo. Hemoplague is on 4 members of Curse, of Legion. Now Cruiser doing work in the back lines. Demon Law saying, I am going to take you down, Vladimir. Zanya's Hourglass. Will he get into the alcohol, though? What will happen? No, Cruiser gets taken down with the Sanguine Pool. Maokai falls shortly thereafter. Demon Law. Will he get taken down by Cop? Cop does not have his collateral damage, and I don't think he could catch up to the speedy Corki with the Valkyrie and whatnot. And that was a great fight by Curse.
Now let's go ahead and take a good look at how that actually started. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the replay. So the first thing we see is we do have St. Vicious initiating with that flash over the wall, catching Anubis by surprise. Nobody expecting that. That one little corner being enough to actually close the distance. The fight starts, the crescendo hits 2 people. NY Jackie just goes in front of everybody. Wild Turtle low from before, can't actually stay in the fight. That's a QSS, get right on out of there. Cruiser does dive into the enemy team, but there's just too much damage coming out. And Hemoplay combined with Jackie's ult combined with just everything on Curse finally pays off. Cruiser dies in the middle of everybody. When he respawns, he just immediately dies. And Westrice able to go ahead and survive Demon Lull with that Sanguine Pull and an amazing flash when he comes out of it. Lotomorris did come from the side, but did get picked off.
Yeah, that Zanya's Sanguine Pull is looking really strong and doing wonders for Westrice right now. We'll go ahead and jump right on back to live, see what's going on in the game after that replay. We are going to be 5 kills ahead for Legion. They're up 12k gold right now. So they were up 14k gold. So, you know, Curse slowly trying to build small advantages, see if they can take anything out here. Nunu is just so tanky. He does actually have a Zeke's Herald in addition to that Aegis of the Legion. It's been getting a lot of use lately. When it was first kind of built, it was first kind of implemented. I didn't see it a whole lot. Why is it now favored?
Well, it used to be Stark's Forever way back when. It was an expensive item. It was pretty much good for, like, Tryndamere. Now supports can pick it up. It's relatively cheap. You pick it up just so your carry can do more damage. And at this point in the game, you know, Demon Lord, any sort of attack speed he gets will just apply quite a bit more damage because he has the crit, he has the crit damage, he has the crit chance. He just has all the stats he needs, and any attack speed is going to be massive for him.
And it looks like Sona is building one of her own to counteract. Will he be able to steal this with the ultimate barrel? He does! Wild Turtle will go ahead and refresh that blue buff of his.
A great steal, you know, Gragas does have pretty long cooldowns, but when you do get the blue buff, you can more or less chain spam barrels, which is as awesome as it sounds. Demon Lord will be picking up his red buff to make up for the fact that he does not have Triforce, and just look how quickly he shoots out the rockets. If you see him in a fight, it's almost, I'd say, about half a second max between rockets coming out. His animation really just pushed to the max.
Yes, indeed. Anubis is going to go ahead and walk over to this Baron. There's the Vengeful Maelstrom. Legion is going to start this Baron. Will they be able to finish? What is Curse going to do to respond? Can they get in there? Saint Fish is waiting for that key moment. A lot of Mortis is knocked up there, but the twist advance onto Saint Fish. And there's Jackie with his ultimate onto 3 members of Legion with the Zion's Hourglass. It will stun all of them. Will Cop be able to clean up here? No, Legion is actually going to use that Blade Surge to pick up the kill on NY Jackie. And now Westrice, do you have your Sanguine pull up? Not this time. You're going to go down. Cop to Cruiser. This is a 2-on-2 situation. Wild Turtle staying as far away as possible. And picks up a quadra kill from Cop. But Wild Turtle with a great juke by Elements and a flash. That is going to be a 4-for-4 trade. Wild Turtle, do you want this? Can you make it up in time? I don't think so. That Hymn of Celerity is making Elements so fast. His ultimate is about to come up. When will it come up?
Can he do it?
That's an ace. That is an ace from Legion with an amazing pursuit from Wild Turtle, just saying, I'm Gragas, hear me roar.
And Legion isn't done yet. They're actually pushing the inhibitor. It was exposed before. Only person alive right now is Wild Turtle. And with that time, you know what? I can't kill Baron, but I can kill an inhibitor. The top turret actually did go down to creeps. He will take down a second inhibitor. The Fat Man is doing as much as he can with that time. St. Vicious is back off. Wild Turtle will back off, but just being completely dominated by that fight from Legion. Just with one person alive, they took out 2 inhibitors.
That pursuit was ridiculous. You know, and he used his ultimate. The only time he used his ultimate before was actually to steal that blue buff. The blue buff, had he not had it, he wouldn't have had the CDR to perhaps pick up that kill there onto Elements. So really, really lucky, but I'll say also really good timing on his part. He is strong right now.
Wild Turtle not afraid to abuse the incredibly short cooldown on his ultimate, actually setting up possibly a trap, waiting for somebody to head around to that blue buff, knowing something is up. Oh, St. Vicious, you do not want to be there.
What's going to happen? St. Vicious applies same through the wall, followed by the ultimate. St. Vicious, you are in a bad place. A Twisted Advance does not care about your move speed. You actually make it worse for yourself, and he goes down. Wild Turtle now dominating a double buff Gragas with 380 CS. Westrice, this is a 4-on-5 to the advantage of Legion. Can they clean up and perhaps finish this game? The Zanias for Westrice. Do you have your pull up this time? It does not look like it, but can you clean up? Westrice with the pull there into 3 members of Legion. He goes down. Wild Turtle is now godlike. That is a... it's just, he's so scary. It's insane.
This could be game. Legion is fairly low, but you know, Demon Lord's at full HP. There will be a lot of regeneration on Wild Turtle. What do they do now? Because any sort of push could be the end of the game. There's only 3 people alive on Curse. This is scary. It looks like they're going to rotate towards Baron, though.
Curse right now is backpedaling. Looks like Baron is now up. Curse does have a ward on it, so they'll be able to see that Legion is going to go ahead and do it. But Curse can't respond. Curse can't do anything about it.
It's 3 people up. Even Wild Turtle is hanging around the mid lane because he knows they can't do anything. They slay Nasher. They have that buff. Once again, it had 15,000 gold. This game, you know, Curse has been holding on. They've been doing that magnificently. They have not lost the game yet, but it is so hard for them to do anything.
8 kill lead for Legion. They're up 15k gold, about 16k gold. It is looking dire for Curse. But I mean, it's really just that Legion is playing so well. Lauda Mortis on Maokai is one of the scariest things ever. 1-8 and 25 assists he had. And Gragas is, you know, CS again, nearing that 400 mark. The next closest person is going to be 300. That is Cop on Graves. So a full 100 CS lead for him. And then they picked up just about every dragon as well.
I do not believe Curse has actually taken a dragon. They've seen dragon, but they have not taken dragon, which is, you know, a bigger step. And the problem they're having is just they lost the early game. They have not had control of anything since those first turrets have gone down. They've only taken 2 turrets. That is nothing at this point in the game.
Yeah, only seeing that dragon is not enough. You can't stalk her from afar. You got to go up and say hello. But Wild Turtle and the rest of Legion have been courting that dragon very, very well, and it's working out for him. 2 inhibitors down for Curse, their top and bot. Only tower left standing other than the Nexus turrets for Curse is that tier 3 mid. Now that Legion has Baron, I mean, they're just going to sit mid lane all day and wait for the end.
Top lane will push in, bot lane will push in, the super creeps will build up. It's going to be hard to deal with. 4 super creeps per wave because 2 will spawn with each inhibitor being down, I believe, past the 40-minute mark. So there's about 300 damage coming in with each of those. Just bulky, hard-to-kill minions that will kill turrets in just seconds at this point. So if they do not defend every lane and the mid lane, they will just lose the game from attrition.
The only thing you know, some people don't know is that also not only do you get super creeps in lanes with inhibitors, but your other lanes, normal creeps, get a lot stronger as well.
And it looks like the push is coming on from Legion. They just want to find that one opening to really use Gragas' ultimate and just start the fight in their favor. See if St. Vicious makes a play and they can just counteract that.
Nah, Jackie very low on mana. He is very close to his fountain, but if he goes back, I feel like anyone from Curse goes back right now, Legion's going to go ahead and take this turret. And there's Mortis taking some turret shots. Hasn't thrown out his ultimate just yet. There's the Gragas ultimate just to separate the team of Curse. Dark Binding does land long range Mortis. St. Vicious will follow up on it with the Impale, but Saint takes a lot of damage himself. Mortis with the Soul Shackles and Hemo Plague on him. There's the Zanius from Westrise. Maokai falls. Nunu falls. Will this be a fight that Curse can win? Taking out the Guardian Angel of Cruiser. Saint falls though. Will Cop be able to kill Cruiser? He gets Blade Surge in, and he's actually getting stunned. He goes down and he trades it with him. And now Demon Low. Can you kill Jackie? And now the crits are absolutely massive. The Zanius, but the Frostbow Bomb may pick it up. Well, yes, it does. Elements. 2-on-1. What are you going to do?
Wild Turtle, the last survivor.
An ace right there. Wow, Wild Turtle, how are you always the last man standing? What are you doing? People need to get on your level right now. Taking down the second Nexus turret. Gonna slowly turn his attention to the Nexus. I believe
it's 30 seconds till Vladimir's alive. He's got to auto-attack it. It will die so quickly.
He could have a party right there. And actually, there's a surrender. That is going to be it. Oh, it didn't happen. There was the winner thing, but it went away. I got
the inhibitors respawn. He actually can't push.
All
the
of
inhibitors
them.
have all respawned.
All of them respawn.
Since the last time he was live in the
Does
space
he have
alone.
enough time? Now he's got 13 seconds before St. Vicious is up.
Built up.
10 seconds before Westrise is up. Can you auto-attack? Can you ham-slap that Nexus enough? What are you going to do?
Down to 1,500, down to 1,000, 700, 300. He will take this game. Wait, will you?
What are you doing?
Trying to kill Westrise. Oh my God, you troll.
Wild Turtle, what have you done to us? The winners right there, Team Legion. In this losers final, Legion versus Curse. Legion comes out one game ahead so far.
I mean, Curse, they have been dominating these past few games. They took out MTW, they took out Wii. They're looking so good, but Legion, there's a reason they got to winners.
No, and they've been kind of the dark horse team of this tournament. You didn't really expect them to do much, but they have played phenomenally well. And we're really excited. We can't wait to get into Game 2 here in a second. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a second with Game 2 of Legion versus Curse. Summoners, and welcome back to the IPL Face-Off San Francisco 2012. We're in between games right now for Legion and Curse. Legion did end up taking that first game, but we wanted to talk about it just a little bit and see what our thoughts of it. Are we gonna see a Gragas ban?
I would love to see a Gragas ban. Even Morgana, who's good against Gragas, was not actually enough that game.
Didn't work out for Nightjackie. Not at all. No one can tame the turtle, apparently. He will stay as wild as can be. So Legion will have, if they are assuming they take this game here against Curse, they will go 2-0 in this losers finals and move back up to the grand finals against TSM. I don't know, were you able to catch the TSM versus Legion match whatsoever?
Not a whole lot. I was actually able to talk to some of the players about it. They felt like it was the early game. They made a few mistakes and didn't punish enough going on. You know, they were in game just like, wait, we should be able to, you know, punish them and take kills, but they just didn't. And actually, picks and bans have already started for this game, so let's go ahead, see what that first ban is. I'm pretty sure you won't be surprised, Pluto.
No, whatsoever. It is going to be pretty standard there. Curse has banned out Gragas, so let's get right into Champ Select, see what the additional 2 bans from each team are.
Shen's actually already come out, and Yorick has been banned out from Curse.
Yes, indeed. Yorick is interesting enough because they played a really good support Yorick, you know, in that last series. But I guess they don't want the other team to get it. They don't want it for themselves, so they're just going to go ahead and ban it out. This is, you know, Curse does have first pick, first ban here. Is there any really big things that they can pick up here?
I mean, they're actually leaving Malphite open. That could be their plan. Shyvana was banned out by Legion, just like last game, you know. Sam Vicious with his Shyvana is constantly being targeted. And, I mean, Malphite being open, I'd say, is the big thing.
Or, if that third ban is Morgana, I was going to say a Morgana again for Nightjackie, but looks like they're going to not give it to him. Nightjackie, you know, his reign was ended, of course, in that last game. He did fall to Wild Turtles Gragas, but it looks like they, you know, so now that Gragas is off the table, they don't want to go against a Morgana as well. That would just be not good for them. And Lauda Mortis locking a very familiar cow.
Alistar not being banned out because, you know, they had to take out Gragas. And by the way, that Morgana, even though Curse was behind 15,000 gold, they were still relevant. They were still doing well in team fights, actually. And Nunu being picked up as well, so support Nunu, could be jungle Nunu. Actually, no, with Alistar it would be support Nunu. We saw Nubish play and play incredibly well, getting multiple absolute zeros, just completely filled, and getting that incredibly high damage. So, great pick coming out from them.
Yeah, it's scary because even though Absolute Zero doesn't deal a lot of damage when you're supporting Nunu, it's just a giant AoE slow that the enemy team doesn't want to be in and doesn't want to team fight inside of. So it forces them to burn flashes or the dashes. Zyra, will we see Nightjackie's Zyra? I've definitely seen him practice Zyra a few times there at the Curse apartment.
It is pretty good.
He knows what he's doing, I would say. It's not his first rodeo there, and it is locked in, so we will see Nightjackie playing Zyra in the AP mid, but I'm interested to see what Wild Turtle's response will be. You know, he is able to see the AP mid of the enemy team, and he can try to counterpick it. Is there any counterpicks really for Zyra that you can think of?
I mean, Zyra, once she was unnerfed, there was a hotfix recently, you know, bring her a little closer to being in line. No one knew the counter to her. Actually, Twisted Fate being looked at by Legion. They did do this last game, but, you know, went for the Gragas instead. What is your choice, Legion? Do you think Twisted Fate can actually survive against Zyra? Are you just going to roam instead? Just like, I won't win lane, but I will kill everybody across the map. This is going to be an interesting pick because normally Twisted Fate is not that good in lane, but someone like Zyra can absolutely murder him.
We'll see. And this is right after the hotfix, so Zyra is hotfixed, and she's not absolute release broken OP like a lot of people thought she was. And there it is. We will see a Twisted Fate versus Zyra matchup in the mid. Elements did lock in the Maokai for St. Vicious, so now they're going to try their hand at Maokai. They didn't want to give Alistar. They didn't want to give Maokai to Lauda Mortis, but I mean, he picked up Alistar instead, and that is just as annoying of a jungler.
I mean, in Europe, Alistar is almost permanently banned. In North America, he's such a common ban. In Asia, he's either first pick, first ban. He's one of the best characters in the world, actually. So Alistar on Lauda Mortis is something he's actually known for, one of his best junglers, and if he can get those ganks off, well, it was just like last game. He ganked early, he ganked aggressively, and it really starts a great lead for Legion.
Yeah, we will definitely see. Alistar is so great on his own, but when you put him in the hands of someone who really knows, his team calls him the herder, because he likes to herd them cows. So it's just the scariest possible thing for him.
He will tower dive at level 2. Level 2, he doesn't care about the turret. It's like, I can still kill them if I do this right, and he will. He will kill them. He will tower dive, no problem.
So high aggression expected to see out there from Mortis. The last 2 pickups from Curse will be Corki and Sona to round out their lineup. And what will LgN pick here? It is going to be their top lane. Looks like their top lane will be against the Vladimir. Could it perhaps be another Cruiser the Bruiser playing on Aurelia?
Definitely an option. Aurelia, one of his favorite characters. We could see Lee Sin, definitely likes him quite a bit. I mean, versus Vladimir top, there's not that many options. He's very safe, but at the same time, will it be Vladimir top? Will it be another support Vladimir? Or not support, 1v2 Vladimir? We've seen Vladimir in many different roles, many different positions. He could go mid. Probably won't happen with the Zyra pick, so they don't really know what to throw against Vladimir because it could also be a 1v2 situation. Yeah, and Yorick being banned out, he is one of the best 2v1 champions. He can sustain from afar, he can deal damage, he can CS from afar. So I believe Curse is going to enter a 2-on-1, and they banned out Yorick because of that. They don't want to go against that really good 2v1 champion. So taking it off the table entirely is really, really smart for them. It's a great decision because they do run the 2v1 so often, and I think they're just used to having a better 2v1, which with the ganks did not happen last game. If they can pull it off, they will be looking strong, but at the same time, we have seen them run, a really weird lane where they go 2v2 and 1v1. We have seen them do that at least once this tournament, so it's definitely an option. All right, so the lineups rounding out from Curse and LgN for this game 2 of the Losers Bracket Finals are going to be Corki, Sona, Zyra, Vladimir, and Maokai for Curse, and Twisted Fate, Alistar, Aurelia, Nunu, and Graves for LgN. Who do you give the advantage to as far as late game is concerned? Late game, they're going to have Alistar on LgN. That's a huge pick, but at the same time, Zyra, Vladimir, Corki, and then Sona to back them up, that's pretty good. That's very good. And even though they will have Aurelia and Graves, I don't think the Alistar and Twisted Fate backup will be quite enough. All right, well, we definitely want to hear everyone's input for this game. This is game 2 of the Losers Bracket Finals between LgN and Curse. Curse has been a resounding favorite for the crowd, but I don't know. Do you guys want to see Wild Turtle run amok again in this game 2? A few. But what about Curse? If you want to see Curse come back, take this to a best of 3, go to the 3rd game, I want to hear some noise. Definitely heard that one. But it's going to be it's obviously a big match. It's going to go blow for blow. I wonder if Mortis is going to kind of babysit top like you saw him do before. Because in that 2-on-1 situation, when he babysits top, it turns it into a 2-on-2 situation. And the jungler, usually with a lot of CC, like the Maokai, like the Alistar, actually comes out way, way ahead. And he really snowballed Aurelia that first game. I mean, jungler will have usually a higher level in the duo lane. Aurelia was able to get enough experience to actually fight despite being harassed constantly. So they really played that situation well. And Curse, they're coming out for, this is their 3rd match, I believe, in a row. So they've been playing a lot of League of Legends. If you ever played for, 6 or 7 hours like they're doing so today, it's not easy. Saint Vicious on his Maokai. What is he going to have to do to kind of turn the tides of this game? Is he going to have to babysit his 2v1, or is he going to focus more on just getting Jackie so fed on Zyra? He has a lot of options. Maokai, one of the best gankers, as we saw last game. He can really do what he wants, and if it works, it will be awesome. He can go for supporting Jackie, he can support the 2v1 or even the 1v1 or 2v2 or whatever it actually ends up being. And we will see what that is in just about a minute. Everyone on the team has pretty standard builds, boots, 3 pots, the fairy charm, couple wards from the supports. The only difference being, it looks like Nunu did pick up a pink ward. So we may see an early ward kill there, just to eliminate the vision of the enemy team. Vladimir a little bit split up top. There is a ward from Curse. In that brush, what will they do with it? They're just going to look for the invade, I suppose. No, Curse, they love to put that ward down. I believe, we do this where they expected the invade, place a pink ward to kill that ward, and look at LgN right now. They're just waiting for someone to be out of position. Alistar is there in the optimal pulverize and kill you position. It's Sapperling, my apologies. As 2 Sapperlings out now. Going to go ahead and watch for that invade, but will LgN make a move here? Do you get the advantage? I mean, Alistar is usually a big level 1 Alistar Twisted Fate. That is a level 1 team fight no one wants to deal with. You walk into a bush, you will be CC'd, knocked into the air, and then you get a gold card in the face, getting those very severe paper cuts.
Paper cuts indeed. Kurt's going to recall West Rice. He's going to go back. Looks like we're going to see another 2-on-1 situation down bot, but we may be seeing a 2-on-2 situation actually up top. If Sona and Corky stay on the game plan and go top, it looks like Graves and Nunu are going to do the same thing, leashing the rates here for Lana Mortis. They wouldn't really be there if they were going bottom, would they? No, it doesn't quite look like it.
They actually still expect some aggression coming out from Curse. Actually going for the invade. They are hit by a sapling. They know they're there.
But do they care? Are they still going this? Wild Turtle, will you get that gold card on Jackie? You will, but a nice counter flash puts Jackie under the safety of his own turret. Saintfish just finally picks up that blue buff and does not kill the small minion. Demon Low, will you be nice enough to kill it for him? No. He's going to leave that creep there to fight another day. So here we go. Both teams anticipated a lane swap, and they just did the same thing. 2-on-2 up top, 1-on-1 down bot, and you've got the normal AP mids in the middle where they should be.
And one of the strengths Legion has is they actually do an amazing amount of research. I talked to their coach, and he actually was able to calculate what route Muffin Cutie and Afromoon would take when they go to lane after a swap. So they know a lot about their opponent. They have researched first. They have a lot of knowledge going into this.
Yeah, because, you know, teams, while they may not realize it, they fall into those old habits. You know, they say, oh, we always take this quote-unquote safe route. But if a team is able to pick up on that when they're training and when they're watching VODs, that safe route becomes far, far less safe.
The only safe route is Alt F4 in this game. Even the Nexus can be a death trap. And right now, you know, they're trying to do some zoning in the top lane. In the bot lane, actually, Cruiser trying to get some CS. Vladimir's still an aggressive person to be against. His early game is pretty nice with the transfusion auto-attack combo.
Yeah, and down there, Aurelia using his Blade Surge to CS, you know, when you do get a last hit with it, it of course refreshes the cooldown, but it also refreshes and returns half the mana cost. But if he continues to do that, he's going to fall way behind, you know, Vladimir, who is a manaless champion entirely.
Oh, actually,
Vladimir, did you say level 2 tower dive? I think you did. There's the flash. He has red buff. And a nice counter flash from Elements. Actually takes him right over the cow. He just kind of leapfrogs that cow, getting right on out of there. Didn't get poked by the horns, which is also a good thing for him. So Elements now has no flash. Vladimir, will you come in for another gank? Maokai, you do get spotted by that ward from Legion, but they're not really reacting that much to it. Yes, they are. Graves and Nunu will back up just a hair. You know, we usually see early tower kills when it is a 2-on-1 situation, but are we just going to see the old, normal, kind of American slow farm meta, since now they are just, it is it, except different lanes?
Well, we just saw a level 2 tower dive, so I think Legion they're not going to let that slow farm happen. Unfortunately, they didn't get it, and Blot took a lot of damage in the exchange, so he does have to go back to base. He's actually falling behind quite a bit in the jungle. Only has 13 CS. Maokai's up to 16, but he's still there, still doing some action.
Here comes Maokai right out of the jungle. Will he get a twist of pants on Nubish? Are you going to lock him down? You do. The flash. Not enough distance for him, and Nubish may go down the auto attacks. First blood onto Elements. Elements picks up that first blood right there. You know, a lot of people say KS kill stolen, but that's just kill secured right there, in my opinion. And Sona, you know, a support, not the worst person to get first.
He can get that early. Actually, Roots go onto Wild Turtle. He's being slowed quite a bit. A lot of damage going off onto him, and Zyra Plant's really doing their damage, showing their worth, because you get hit by a root, guess what? You're going to be slowed afterwards. Those seedlings are actually pretty devastating.
So the getting a first blood on the support just gets them an early GP10, and Elements may go and do that. Yes, he already has his Philo Stone, so the earliest GP10 in the game right there. You know, it's cool to get first blood on an AD carry, and AP carry. Actually, West Rice meeting Lana Mortis here in the middle. Wild Turtle trying to transition over there, but Nijak was hot on his heels, but here comes St. Vicious, a 3-on-1, the flash. Will the Arcade Smash lock him up enough? Yes, it does! Wild Turtle falls in the mid, so right now, St. Vicious saying, Lana Mortis, you can play Maokai. I can do it too. And Lana Mortis falling a little bit behind here. Didn't get that early level 2 flash tower dive that he wanted.
And unfortunately, you cannot flash a Twisted Advance like you can flash Alistair's Headbutt. So just the fact that you can flash one thing is proving to be a huge issue for Legion right now. Every time they flash get away, he chases them down anyways, and Legion is still dying as a result.
And a lane switch. But speaking of tower dives, Lana Mortis, you want it. We can tell. That cow waiting in the brush. West Rice, don't do it. Don't do it. You did it. You got knocked up. But can the rest of Legion follow up? I don't think so. Lana Mortis is actually going to take the long route and a few tower shots as a care package out of there. That was not good. Did you enjoy your stay? I don't think so. And West Rice just, he got CC'd forever, yes, but Legion just a little bit too far away. Lana Mortis a little bit too far.
They would have had to walk through that turret. Actually, the Twisted Advance goes onto a minion. Saber is just trying to get the slow off, doesn't actually land it, and a lot of damage from a smoke screen goes onto Westrice, who's very low right now.
Yeah, very, very smart play from Saint, trying to do that just a hair short of that Nunu's butt, and it's going to be okay. He walks out of there, does go put a ward in the river brush. Right outside of it, the Cruiser on Aurelia, 43 CS down bot to the 24 CS of Vladimir. They did do another lane swap, of course, so now we're back into our 2v1 situation that it looked like Curse wanted from the very beginning.
And will it work? Aurelia is level 6 now. She just got her ultimate, had a chance to farm. She's not going to be that bad in a 1v2 situation. At the same time, though, Westrice, he doesn't have the kills. He does have the assist. And Aurelia has actually double CS. So he's not in a good position to really go for 1v2. Doesn't have really anything, just a good amount of CS, that assist, but no big items, just a Doran shield.
Jackie goes back and purchases 2 Doran's rings, while Twisted Fate actually opts to go for Spell Pin boots. What are the advantages of getting boots too with Magic Pen that early?
He will dodge Zyra's roots a little bit more, which he needs to do, because we saw him get hit once. That was an amazing amount of damage. If it happens again, once Wild Turtle or Jackie gets the ultimate, which he does have now, that can easily be a kill.
Yeah, it's interesting that he can actually use the plants that Zyra spawns to get blue card and get his mana back a little bit, give him a few more options there in lane. A lot of Mortis again poised for a gank. He just loves when people face check, and will they? No, he comes out instead. Another counter flash. Elements is spot on getting away from that giant cow.
And unfortunately, they actually tried to start the fight with Cruiser, who had a Blade Surge in, when because of that, the Equilibrium Strike did not do this stun, because using Blade Surge, he did some damage to Cop in that exchange. So unfortunately, it did not work out. A lot of Mortis is trying, but it's just not working out for him in the end.
No, indeed. Now Anubis throwing out the snowball to Westrice to slow him just a little bit, just keeping him out of XP range and CS range, pretty much.
In the bot lane, though, Cruiser is doing very well to hold his own. There's a lot of pressure coming out from Curse, but he is getting a great amount of CS despite the 1v2 situation. The top lane, Westrice not doing quite as well, so the swap not working out overall, but if they can get some good ganks off, get some pressure on that dragon, it will be a great benefit for Curse.
Yeah, but going to that mid lane again, Twisted Fate 59 CS. I'm coming up on that 60 mark. There he goes. Zyra 56 CS. 1-0-0 Zyra to the 0-1-0 of Twisted Fate. And here is Dragon. I don't think Legion is in any position to go ahead and contest this.
Unless it really wants to 1v4, it's going to be a pretty easy Dragon. Curse.
Not so smart.
Wait, here's Twisted Fate ult has been used though. Where's it going? Where's it going?
Did he use it perhaps just to scare Westrice up there, just to maybe make him misplay? I do not know. But actually, here's Wild Turtle. He did port a little bit up near the red, or the blue buff rather, of Curse. It looks like this is going to be a turret taken for Legion if they do decide to pressure it.
Wild Turtle actually stopping his recall. Going to use a blue card, which does actually very high damage to the turrets. And the first turret, like you said, is going to be taken by Legion. Applying that pressure, this is a great response to something like a Dragon play. And really, we've seen 2 things happen. The team takes control of the game when they get the first dragon or the first turret. Curse got the first dragon, Legion got the turret though. Yeah,
Jackie realizing that his lane counterpart has decided to port top and take that turret, so he shoves the lane with his E and Q combo. Now he is going to go and take these wraiths. This is what Jackie does. This is what a lot of great AP mids do. They go ahead and farm those wraiths. That's 4 additional CS every 50 seconds, and that really adds up. It's assuming your lane counterpart isn't doing it himself.
And Zyra being a plant, amazing at farming, so, that roots with her E combined with the Q, kind of like Cassiopeia, combined with a Morgana binding that's AoE, it's great at CSing, and she just will get a massive amount of farm if nothing's done about her in the mid lane.
I know Jackie does have that blue buff, and I know the one thing, he talked to me last night about Zyra, because they got actually destroyed by a Zyra from Singapore Sentinels the other day. He said that she just has very, very high mana costs. She's very hard to sustain in lane. But once you get blue buff, she is an absolute terror in lane. And there's the quick draw buckshot onto Westrice, just pushing him out just a little bit, just putting on a little bit of damage. But Vladimir, of course, able to sustain very, very well. And you see a Sheen actually rush from Twisted Fate. So we're going to see an early Lich Bane. Is Legion going to try to recreate the magic that happened before, or is a Lich Bane rush standard on Twisted Fate? I thought maybe you need a little bit of AP to back it up.
There's a lot of different options. Lich Bane works very well though, because you have your wild cards, you have your pick card that really benefit from it, and even his passive, I believe, Stacked Deck, that will not apply Sheen, but it works well because you still have to get those auto attacks off. Twisted Fate being kind of a unique mage because he does rely on auto attacks for quite a bit of damage.
All right, so he will get that Lich Bane, unless he just wants the Sheen first and then he'll build the Death Cap later. We'll see exactly what happens in just a little bit. Nunu does have his Fairy Charm, Ruby Crystal, the other The other support on Sona does have the early Philo Stone because of that First Blood, and the Ruby Crystal going to be building that into a Heart of Gold. So only one GP10 on the side of Legion, while Curse right now is rocking 3. Zyra can sometimes get a Cage's lucky pick, or do you think she benefits more from just the Dorans and straight up AP?
It depends on how confident you're feeling. If you want to go for a longer game, a lucky pick is good on almost any AP mid. At the same time, though, Zyra won't really benefit that much from a DFG. She has enough burst and wants to stay far away as is. So it's okay not to pick it up on her, which I do not believe Jackie will be doing today. And right now, there's actually another push coming out, this time from Curse onto the bot turret. So we're seeing both turrets being taken by, or pressured by both teams.
Yeah, but Cruiser has decent wave clear with that Transcendent Blades. He clears that wave away from the turret, saving him just a bit more time. You know, the missiles and Phospho Bomb do more damage and clear waves faster, but here comes a lot of Mortis trying to make it into a 2v3 situation. I don't know if they can protect that turret for much longer. It looks like the presence of the cow will actually force Curse to back on off. I think Dragon may be coming up very, very soon. I'm not quite sure of the time that Curse did take it.
Wild Turtle also is has his ultimate up, so if they do go for a 3v3 fight in the bot lane, you know, Wild Turtle can always join in. Going to be a huge amount of pressure. Actually, looks like a gank is being set up on the mid lane, coming from all angles. Turtle has to be very prepared for this, or he will die.
Is St. Fish is going to take a play out of Laudamor's playbook? Does he want to tower dive right here? He is 2 levels below Wild Turtle, but all that matters is the CC. Wild Turtle is really effectively using his wild cards because they have very, very long range. You can just throw them right on down the line of the creep wave, clear it really well, and then just be safe, stay safe, and that's exactly what he was doing.
And he actually made a really cool guess. He's like, all right, I just saw Maokai in the bot lane. He will probably gank me, and if he does, he'll gank me from the bot side right there. So he was hanging around the top side jungle entrance just so he would not be, you know, initiated on over the wall.
Yeah, now it looks like Legion is actually transitioning to the mid, leaving Aurelia down bot. Or not. They thought they were going to pressure that tier 1 turret just a bit more. Graves going to quick draw over that wall, going to get up the top lane. He's got a lot of farm up there he can take. They're about to be 2 waves worth, if he can make it before the tower picks up a few CS. No, just out of tower range. Perfect lane freezing by the creeps there. They must have learned their lesson. There's Wild Turtle with the ultimate. Where does he go? Actually, tower diving Jackie. We are going to have to go and watch that. Will the Zyra passive? Doesn't even matter. The tower shots will happen. We have to go back and watch what just happened there. Laudamortis and St. Vicious just exchanging blows here in the mid lane. Saint does have his oracles, of course. Laudamortis does not have his yet. We're going to actually, there's the aggression from St. Vicious. Westrice is here to back him up. There's the twisted advance. We actually went to replay. What just happened there? We go the Hemo Plague. Laudamortis' ultimate does protect him. The Unbreakable Will too strong. I don't even know if we have time now. Everything's going on.
There's too much action. This turret's being pushed too much. Who cares about that early kill? Not what we're here for. I mean, Elements and Westrice right now, quite a bit of damage they can do just with the power cord and the transfusion. Yeah,
Demon Law does get spotted by that sapperling right there. Still, 3 members of Curse are here in the mid lane. They want this turret so badly. St. Fish is very, very low on mana there. Will he be able to get a full combo of his W and Q? Wow, the burst from Elements does deter him from that fight, followed by the Snowball and Laudamortis. He is charging headlong into there, but he gets stopped by the Crescendo. There's a Twisted Advance, actually being dragged straight into the turret, but St. Fish's counter flashes out of there, and Zyra's here for this party. Will she be able to take down Wild Turtle? It does not look like it. He uses wild cards to clean up those weeds that have grown in the mid lane. In the meantime, Cruiser is hitting on this tier 1 bot turret, but the creeps are there just in time to get him away from it.
And you know, a great fight in the end. They've pressured the mid turret, and now Cruiser with that damage, like I said, all of the turrets seem to be the big focus for Legion. They want to take the early turrets like Curse has done in the past, and with that they can take advantage of the game, use map control, push up waves, and take objectives like Dragon, like Baron very easily, make invasion on a blue buff and red buff just simple. It's like, they can't see us do it, they can't see us get in, we will just take it.
And Aurelia has built that phage along with the Doran's Blade pickup as well. Legion now coming around this Dragon area. Jackie at half health and about half mana. Actually barely misses Inubish with those grasping roots. Curse does not want to lose this Dragon. TF, you are far away. Your ultimate is up, however. Will you get into this fight? There's the ultimate. Will he use his gate to get in there? Who's going to go on this? Desire ultimate dealing huge damage to Laudamortis and Inubish, but St. Vicious caught by Wild Turtle card. But Curse Cop almost cleans him up, but a flash and a transfusion from Westrice will chase him down, and now Cruiser locks down Jackie. He falls. Will Desire passive be able to pick up a kill? Oh, it does. Wow, oh wow. And now Cruiser, you're in a 3-on-1 situation. See you later. A 4-for-2 exchange in the favor of Curse, and it looks like it's going to be a Dragon to boot. We're going to go ahead and go to a replay so we don't miss any action this time again. Go ahead, studio.
So the way that fight started out, you know, there was pressure on Dragon coming out from Curse, trying to fire out those rockets, trying to do that damage. Eventually, TF does use his ult, and everybody's like, oh, the fight's about to start. They back off, Twisted Fate gets into the fight, but Zyra ultimate is everything right now. It launches up 3 people in the air, does an amazing amount of damage. Walter tries to teleport in there, tries to do the damage, but the rest of Legion is so low, Inubish can't get in place to ult. Walter tries to escape, but Westrise with an amazing flash picks him off. And the rest of Legion, well, they're so low from that early initiate that Inubish gets picked off by rockets in the back. Cruz is trying to chase, but can't actually do much besides kill Jackie. And Demon Lol, you know, he's being shot to death by a Red Baron. Not pleasant.
And LgN actually picks up that dragon there. So what we missed, it looks like Curse kind of decided not to go for it with Cop and Westrise. So Legion now has a dragon under their belt. They're closing that gold gap. They have 1K. They're 1K down. They're down 4 kills if they're up 1 turret.
And the question is, who has the gold for Curse right now? Because if it's on the Graves, on the Zyra, that's a lot scarier than just, you know, say, Elements having more gold or a lot of Mortis having more gold. And looking at it right now, Corky's at 5,000, comparing that to Graves, who's also at 5,000, very equal in that regard. Zyra at the same position at 5,200, and TF at 5,300. So the APs and the ADs have quite a bit of gold. They're very equal, which is good for both teams.
The gold is definitely in the right places. And really the key to this game, the key to both games have been the junglers. You know, a lot of Mortis really affected that 2v1 up top in game 1. And he wanted to do the same thing here on Alistar in game 2. But I mean, St. Vicious has been playing phenomenally well and just been affecting the game more. And it's just sad for a lot of Mortis to see that.
I mean, 0-1-6 on the Maokai. He's involved in almost every kill. Mid-turret now being pressured, but Zyra has quite a good wave clear with her plants, with her Q, with her E, just, you know, lots of AoE and, of course, extra little Heimerdinger-style turrets that are actually plants to help defend.
Yeah, Maokai actually in this game, Saint deciding to build Merc Treads rather than the Boots of Mobility, while we see a lot of Mortis and Alistar still has the Boots of Mobility. Is that just a player preference thing, or is there anything that a lot of Mortis is just not afraid of in this game?
I mean, Alistar does have the ultimate to go ahead and sustain damage, and last game, a lot of Mortis also had to fight an early lead, so he had the ultimate fast. He expected to take a lot less damage just because he was ahead.
Is that such a smart move in this game, though, when it looks like he's slightly behind?
They're only ahead by about 1,000. Alistar has the ultimate, so you know, he can still rely on that for a bit of mitigation. At the same time, Saint's not that far ahead, so I think being safer with Merc Treads, you know, trying to focus on counter ganks rather than just hard initiates has been helping quite a bit.
Wild Turtle waiting in mid lane to just go ahead and wild cards and red card those creeps, absolutely clearing them very quickly. 153 CS on him to Zyra's 147, so they are neck and neck. Jackie does have a needlessly large rod to the quick Abyssal Scepter actually rush of Wild Turtle. Is that pretty much indirect counter to Zyra's magic damage that, you know, Jackie's so far ahead, he can't really build as offensively as he wants. He has to build a little defensive.
It's a unique build, actually. Usually people don't build Abyssal Scepter that early on Twisted Fate. You see either a Death Cap or maybe a Lich Bane, but it has not happened. Actually, Twisted Fate was used to get to the bot lane, did not really get the kill, and Inubish might be caught out of position. Nope, Saint will not initiate onto that. So right now, they're trying to pressure the bot lane, did not get a good gank off. Flash was not used by Comp either. It's still on cooldown from an earlier fight, and Curse actually rotating mid to get that turret. Yeah,
Legion saying, here we come from behind. Once again, a lot of Mortis' ult is popped. It's a lot of damage reduction, but it will go down in a second. The headbutt into the turret. Inubish gets melted by the Zyra ultimate. The Graves ultimate trying to do as much work as possible. The Hemoplague Demon Low will go down to a long-range rocket from Cop. Pretty much would have gone down to either the Hemoplague or the rocket. Cop, kill secured. That's all I can say.
Right now, Curse, they're using their team comp a lot more. They have the AoE. They're actually able to go ahead and lock down specific characters. If Lot walks into a dangerous position, people usually run away from Alistar. But Curse knew they had the advantage, pressured it quite a bit, and of course, you know, the ult out forced Inubish to a bad thing. He's actually hurting a lot of Mortis, doing quite a bit of damage. He's actually very close to dying.
There's the Thorn Spitters trying to do work on it. If he gets caught by one more Grasping Roots, he may go down, but no, he will be out of there in just a hurry. Now Jackie moves back onto the mid lane. He's got his 161 farm under his belt to the 167 farm of Wild Turtle's Twisted Fate. Now Jackie going back to buy. Is he going to finish out a death cap here? Let's take a look. Yes, indeed. There's a death cap on Zyra. You know, she does have great ratios, and she just has ridiculous burst. But I think the scariest thing about her is her Grasping Roots.
It's a great AoE CC. AoE CC is a very scary thing in this game. And even though it's only a root, you can still cast spells. You might be able to auto-attack too, I believe. It's dangerous because your comp there, that will let you get hit by her ultimate. That will let you get hit by Vladimir's ultimate. And then comp in the back can just shoot you to death with rockets.
Yeah, Cop playing Corky really effectively right now. 3-0-4, 155 CS. Already has his Trinity Force as well. And that BF sword going to be built into either Infinity Edge or Bloodthirster, of course. Would you prefer an Infinity Edge at this point, I'm assuming?
Infinity Edge, definitely. It works well with the crit from Triforce. And I like the Triforce pick because, you know, they're a bit less confident than last game. They had a great start. They already had 6 kills. They're only ahead 1,200 gold right now. So Curse playing very cautiously, which they're really well known to do. That's how they will play if they are not incredibly far ahead.
Yeah, they've shown a lot of early aggression here in this tournament so far, but they realize when they're behind, they will respect the enemy team. They will respect any comebacks that may happen. So they're not going to just go crazy with it. They're just going to keep taking small advantage. And let's see, Twisted Fate's ultimate is up. I don't think Maokai wants to go down there quite yet. Actually, Curse is pinging that brush like they want something to happen. A lot more is going to fall back from Vladimir and the entire pursuit of Curse.
They actually do spot
Jackie actually using his slow plant to try to catch someone coming out of that brush, but they take the long way around the scenic route. And Curse absolutely adept at clearing waves at this point.
Trying to secure the blue buff, you know, this would be great for Zyra with the high mana cost. And right now, LgN is converging, but this is going to be a difficult fight. Curse is blue buff ready for anything that comes with him.
But that blue buff falls way too fast for LgN to even get there. They did ping it, they knew what was going on. But I mean, they just couldn't get there in time. And now Curse, they want to try to bait a fight out of here. Elements will potentially spot that ward. Are you just, look, it's right there. Okay. That's awesome too. Just walk away from it. It's sometimes corners and stuff. It's hard to see around.
Angles can be pretty weird.
Angles can be weird things. So that ward will live to grant vision another day. Saint Vicious is going to move on down to this dragon. Curse, the entirety of them is going to move on down to this dragon. I believe this next dragon fight will be huge, unless LgN. Is LgN going to give it up though?
It looks like they're not confident. They're scared. They think they're a lot farther behind than they actually are. They're 6 kills down, which is a big number, but you know, now they're down 2k. Now that lead is actually increasing quite a bit. A very nice dragon though secured by Curse.
They didn't have vision of it, but it was something that you could perhaps infer by, you know, the positioning and travel of the enemy team. But it looks like they just gave it up there. In the meantime, Twisted Fate actually decides to teleport up top. He's going to start doing some split pushing that, you know, Twisted Fate is so good at.
And that is always a fallback they have on LgN. If they fall too far behind, and as long as they can't be 4v5 underneath the turret, you know, they can split push with TF. They have quite a good push potential coming out from Nunu as well as Graves. So if they can get to the turrets, that's great for them. But if Curse is there ready to defend, that's going to be a huge problem.
Again, Zyra has her death cap. The Twisted Fate has the workings of a Lichbane with the Abyssal Scepter. Aurelia has her Trinity Force with 2 Null Magic Mantles, not 1, but 2 Null Magic Mantles. So they're very scared of the Zyra burst, and they're completely respecting that. Another Null Magic Mantle for Nunu, going to build those into Merc Treads. Oh, and just another Null Magic Mantle for Maokai. Null Magic Mantles for everyone, apparently. That Aegis of LgN will be built very, very shortly for Maokai, just giving his team a little extra bit of tension.
Good to do. It's a great item. It's very efficient. People tend to ignore how good it is as an aura item, and it's actually really efficient just for yourself.
Yeah, and that Lichbane being finished now on TF, expect to see him dealing a lot of burst damage. And even, it really helps his tower pushing as well. So if he wants to go split push, he will hit those towers like a truck. Speaking of towers, Curse takes down tier 1 top turret. It's 2-2 now, and LgN, in response, going to perhaps pressure this tier 1 mid turret. Again, let's see how hard that card hits from Wild Turtle. Ooh, that's very hard by turret.
Well, we will see later. Taken out in 1 card. Actually, top turret being pushed by Curse at the same time. We have a split push going on. Probably won't lead to a base race, but a lot of turrets being taken by both teams. We do have a Cruiser in the bot lane pushing himself, so right now the push is just in favor. Curse actually has retreated.
Yeah, what is LgN going to do here? They did take down that tier 2 turret. All of Curse has recalled, but now Curse is pinging that tier 2 bot turret like they want to defend it. Do they want to, or will Aurelia just pull away from it here?
Right there, Wild Turtle tried to go ahead, use the ult to get away, and actually Saint Vicious almost got the Twisted Advance into a Arcane Smash to keep him in place. Luckily, he did get away. And the split push, now a lot of turrets have fallen, and well, there's a lot more map control coming out from LgN. They have the mid turrets down that lets them roam in both the top side and bot side jungle if they just push up that creep wave. So it's very scary if you're in a position that Curse is in.
And here's Baron started by Curse, but they have to contend with the Consume and Smite that LgN has on Nunu. Will they be able to take it down fast enough? Will they get low themselves? LgN is aware of it. Here comes Wild Turtle. He doesn't have a card selected, throwing out wild cards just to put down some damage on the entirety of Curse. Demon Law, he comes in. Zyra absolutely destroys 3 members of Legion. There's a long-range collateral damage. Baron Nashor does go to the blue team. Curse able to pick that up. Westrice using his Sanguine Pool to save himself. A lot of Mortis falls. Cruiser being locked down with the Twisted Advance. And the Zyra grasping roots will say you're going nowhere. The Shirelli's Reveries pop. They're trying to chase on the Flash. Twisted Advance from Wild. From St. Vicious takes down Wild Turtle with a nice follow-up from Cop. Cop absolutely destroying, going unstoppable with that fight. Curse only losing 1 member, and hey, also picking up Baron as a nice party favor.
And you know, with that fight, there's 4 people down. What can they do? This is what you do as Curse. You go ahead, get that advantage, get that Baron. Now you start taking objectives. This mid turret's going to fall. Can they take the inhibitor out? If they can take the inhibitor, it's going to be incredibly difficult for Legion to really do anything now. They'll have to defend against the super creeps. They'll have to be worried about just walking into a bush and getting ambushed by plants. And right now, they're actually just tanking the turret with their faces. And can they get the push out? Looks like they will retreat.
They will retreat indeed. Night Jackie throwing back his grasping roots to make that into a slow plant, just for good measure, trying to get out of there, slow the enemy team's pursuit. Because I feel like Legion is trying to counter-aggress and counter-push right now. Twisted Fate and Aurelia are very far away, but Legion is marching straight up that mid lane with no regard for Curse. No respect for him right now. They know they're all very low in mana. Can they go ahead and pressure this mid turret? No, it looks like they extended a little bit too far, and they're going to go ahead and pull back from there. Or are we just going to see for the rest of the time, you know, Legion is down a lot of kills. They're down 9 kills. They're down about 6k gold. Are we just going to see them kind of switch to TF split push mode, or what?
I mean, right now, fighting is not a good idea for them. Every time we've seen them initiate, they walk into a Zyra ultimate, get damaged quite a bit, and get knocked up as they try and do any sort of initiation. Alistair's ultimate, you know, it can break CC, but knock up is a CC that cannot be broken. So they have to deal with that fact. They don't have a good way to start the fights. What do you do as Legion? I guess, you know what, screw fighting. It's not worth it. We're going to lose it every time. They've decided to go ahead. Split push will be their best option. And if they don't shift, you know, it's going to be hard to deal with both Zyra, Vladimir, and Maokai. And then you crescendo to follow up with CC.
So now Curse rocking that Baron are going to be able to siege turrets just about all day. They're in the enemy jungle right now. Going to switch over to the mid lane. Using that buckshot, using the missiles rather, and the phosphorus bomb to just shove that lane right into the turret. St. Vicious is up front, getting a little bit of a jovial laugh in the faces of the enemy team. Throws a sapling just to get vision right there. There's the actual ward, and there's damage from Wild Turtle. Just 1 combo from Jackie hardly takes him down to about half HP. He doesn't want to get hit by Zyra here, but one of Zyra's biggest advantages is she deals so much damage from such a far range. She's a really, her spells have just umber range. It's absolutely,
it's got amazing range, and of course, if you do get the seedlings planted and you do get the plants to grow, they will attack and keep attacking for quite a long distance. So it's not even just far range. You know, you will get stuck in place, rooted, and the plants will hit you from 500 distance, like 5 chemos.
The Night Jackie does not have the blue buff that he wants right there. Actually, the Grasping Roots will lock down Demon Law and Wild Throw. There's a Zyra ultimate, not knocking anyone up from Legion. Cruiser able to zone out some members of Curse, and they're just going to live and be okay. And that tier 3 turret is not going to go down for Curse, what they wanted so badly.
It's incredibly low, though, and they can always go ahead, push it later when they're a bit more confident. Dragon has responded, though. They're just going to wait for their ultimates. They know that turret's going to be very easy to take later. They don't need to deal with it until it has, you know, no one defending it, or they can just use their ultimate. So they don't care. They don't care that they can kill it. They can kill it later, and they're aware.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and just take a consolation prize of Dragon there. Go home with a little bit more gold in their pockets. Corky 505 with 198 CS. He has that Bloodthirster built, actually, so he didn't go Infinity Edge. Is there a particular reason why he wouldn't?
It could be just for safety. Bloodthirster is a great item if you want to be more confident in your team fights, because Infinity Edge is great for damage, but Bloodthirster will give you that massive lifesteal, which lets you auto-attack, sustain just off of killing creeps, and pushing is what it's good for. So they lose a bit of damage, but in the end, they're going to be better in pushing situations, which, well, Curse has been doing quite a bit lately.
And the Trinity Force Wits End coming out from Aurelia as well. Again, just respecting the magic damage that happens. And also, you know, Wits End just grants a great magic damage addition to your auto attacks. But I mean, is anyone really that squishy on Curse? Because I know there's some kind of mathematical value where Wits End is superior to like a Madrid's Blood Razor.
I mean, Madrid's is just, you know, expensive to build. In the end, there's not a lot of HP necessarily, but there is, you know, decent defenses like Zonia's, like the Triforce providing a lot of move speed and actually some HP for Corky. So the defense is there in terms of mobility, not really HP. So the Blood Razor, which is an incredibly expensive item, not really going to be the best pickup right now. And I mean, Legion, they're in an okay spot. They have TF, They are behind quite a bit of gold, but they have to hold this turret, which is going to be difficult because it's already gone down.
Yeah, that didn't last long whatsoever. That's exactly what Curse wanted to do. Saplings are going to go into the back of the creep wave, trying to clear them out really, really quickly. You know, TF and all of Legion still has really good wave clear, so they can hold off a push for a little while, but losing the first inhibitor turret of the game is a big, big blow.
When you fight for an inhibitor, when you try and defend the inhibitor, you're not really focusing on the creep waves. You have to try and poke, because in the end, there is no turret, there is no defense. If Curse decides to attack the inhibitor, you're the ones who have to stop them.
And there's the Twisted Fate ultimate, just using it to go bot. He's going to start split pushing out. Curse recognizes this. Are we going to have an inhibitor go down here for Curse? Looks like they are going to take it down. Half health, quarter health, goodbye, no health. In the meantime, TF, is he going to get a lot out of the split push, though? Curse already going back to recall. Actually, Legion is kind of in pursuit. They don't want to allow Curse to recall here. They want Wild Turtle to do as much damage to the enemy base as possible, but it looks like he's only going to get one turret out of this. Is he going to recall in time? I don't think they can make it.
He's got 5 seconds.
If Curse makes it, that would be incredible.
One rocket, will it land? No, actually guessing.
Trying to predict where he was going to be and just barely missing that rocket onto Wild Turtle. If he had been caught there, man, oh man, Curse covered a lot of ground. But, you know, they no longer have Baron, but they were able to take down an inhibitor.
So they have the super creeps pushing in now. This is the time of control for Curse, because every time Legion leaves their base for more than a minute, the super creep might start knocking at the door of those Nexus turrets, and if those go down, your base is just so compromised just from even normal creep pushes. But right now, Legion, they lost the inhib. They're trying to wait out until the next Baron spawn. That will be the next big fight for Curse. They want to secure the Baron, try and bait out a fight coming from Legion, because the team fight potential really isn't there.
Corki now sporting a Last Whisper, Bloodthirster, and Trinity Force. He does have an Elixir of Fortitude and Agility that he will be popping just before the next fight, getting ready for it, preparing for it. Baron should be up very, very shortly. I mean, what can we expect to see from Legion to stop this Baron, if anything?
You know what? Twisted Fate's in the bot lane. He's going to stay in that bot lane. Baron will be responding very quickly. They're looking for it. Actually, might be looking for a catch on someone like Nubish. Actually, the flash comes out. The Twisted Advance comes out. Nubish will get blown up immediately. Flashes, but it is worth nothing in the end. And they get a great kill. Baron popping up now. So, you know what? Legion's in a bad spot now, but TF is going to split push. Actually, they're going to push down middle at the same time.
Yeah, they're forcing Curse into a bad spot. They're saying, what do you want to do? Are you going to go back to defend? Are you going to take this Baron? Curse can stick with this Baron. Cruiser, Transcendent Blades, tries. Valiant effort, but it is for nothing. And now Legion is knocking at the door of this inhibitor. They want this so bad, saying go, go, go for the entire enemy team. Wild Turtle, will you get their Lich Bane? One more attack would have taken down the turret, but he actually just ults away defensively, going over to the Dragon Pit and living again. So Legion almost, I mean, if they had taken down that turret, I think it could have been their way to get a comeback.
They know they can't fight. They're trying to play smart, but unfortunately, with that pick on the Nubish, there wasn't enough of a distraction to actually go ahead and hold those that team at Baron. First, needed to actually, even though almost caught out, this is not a good position to be in. Flashes out.
Oh, fail flash from Westrice, trying to flash pool to slow down Graves, but that wall a little bit too thick.
You got to hug it very closely.
He did not hug it close enough. Needs to get better acquainted with that wall, apparently. And now Curse is going to transition to the bot lane. They've already done all the work they need to mid lane. It will start to push itself. Now they have Baron. Now they're going to start pressuring other lanes. And Legion just on the back foot here.
And on the back foot is not where they want to be. They know they can't fight. They know they have to be at the enemy turrets. Wild Turtle will have his ultimate relatively soon. We'll probably go for the invade. Actually, St. Vicious caught out, and the rest of Legion does get scared off, though.
As you see St. Vicious do this a whole heck of a lot. There's a Vengeful Maelstrom, just kind of to deter the enemy team of Legion, knowing that Curse is in tow. Now Saint still chasing onto Lattimortis, jungler versus jungler right there. And here the siege begins. But Saint's been doing that a lot, whether he's playing Maokai, whether he's playing Alistar, whether he's playing Shyvana. When his team is pressuring the tier 2 bot turret, he goes in between the tier 2 and tier 3 and basically stands there and just says, come at me, bro. You know, if you guys want to fight, we'll fight right here, right now. But that time, you know, Lattimortis was just there to trade a few blows with him, and nothing became of it. But that damage from one weave just does a whole heck of a lot to Lattimortis. And here's a tower going down, half HP. Will they be able to take it down this push? No, they will wait till the next replay. But in the meantime, look at mid doing a lot of work to the base of Legion. They have to go defend that. They have to let this turret go. And I don't think they have the wave clear or the team fight to defend it.
Curse can dive this at this point, even just killing the turret as they dive. This is scary for Legion. They have to make the right decision. And even then, they still might lose this fight and possibly lose the game.
Westry stacking up a Tides of Blood to have maximum efficiency. There's the Shirelias, our Song of Celerity, rather. There's the engage from St. Fishes onto Inubish. Is that the target one hit? Lattimore in the back line of Curse, trying to wreak havoc, but Jackie positioning expertly, hitting the Zyra ultimate. Nubish will go down to the proc of the Emo Plague. There's Cruiser falling as well. Sona able to pick up that kill, trying to carry as hard as possible, and the crits from Cop are absolutely wrecking Demon Law. Can they end it here? Get one more. There you go. Nice. Going up top now to take this tier 3 turret. And right here, Curse, they are in the lead, but they want to make absolutely sure this is a closed casket affair. And there's the burst from Nijaki. But he Zanya's the headbutt pulverize combo from Lattimortis, and he will get on out of there. This tier 3 turret will go down up top, and now it's a 3-on-4. But, I mean, Curse is just going to take that turret and say, okay, you know, we're done here. We'll come back. We'll take your inhibitor. There's not a whole lot you can do about it.
There are no turrets up except the Nexus turret right now for Legion. If they even just don't defend their inhibitor turret, that can go down. With 2 inhibitor turrets down, or inhibitors down, we saw it before from Curse in the last game, it's incredibly difficult to defend. You just kind of wait, and eventually you're going to be in such a bad position, it's very easy to get initiated on and just kind of die. Their 9,000 gold lead in favor of Curse, too.
Yeah, their middle inhibitor of Legion has finally respawned, so that's going to give them a little bit of breathing room, but it's still going to be a few more minutes before that bot inhibitor has respawned. And what that does, and we've seen this happen a few times, I saw it at the MLG Arena with the Zubu Blaze. They love taking that bot inhibitor as soon as possible, because once the Baron dance starts, you know, the teams start to congregate around there. If you have the inhibitor or the turret down, your creeps start pushing bot lane, and the enemy team has a big decision to make. Do we do this Baron dance forever, or do we go defend our base? And I'm pretty sure TSM at one point lost an inhibitor just because of that strat from the Zubu Blaze.
An inhibitor and actually a Nexus turret. Right now, though, Dragon being secured by Curse. You know, Dragons have really been in favor of Curse this game. Legion picked up a couple, but they've been dominating the map. They've had more control, and they've been picking them up in general. Legion, this is just another 1,000 gold that they can't really deal with. Actually, Wild Turtle, is he sitting up to go ahead and backdoor?
He may be. He uses ultimate Gunna Walker. He's going to actually gateware to the bottom, or to the mid turret. He knows it has 1 hit left on it. He's going to be able to take this. Will he be able to take the inhibitor as quickly? There we go. Is this going to be a base race to end all base races? Wild Turtle working on that inhibitor. He is only 1 man. What can he do against the 4-man push of Curse? Westrice actually going back. He's going to 1v1 this Twisted Fate down there. And I don't know if this is worth it. The inhibitor does not go down yet for Curse. They take the middle inhibitor of Legion, and actually Wild Turtle forced a recall there. Actually, what he did, he was able to take it down, which is good. But the middle inhibitor falls for Legion, and now they're still just 2 inhibitors behind.
They at least got something done. The pressure will be a bit alleviated just because Supermaning will now start spawning for them. But really, they're scared to team fight. They know that if they get into a big fight, they'll probably lose and the game will end. So right now, this is their last stand, their bastion. And if they cannot go ahead and make a good enough defense to actually defend, it will be over.
And a nice, no more Zyra ultimate. Legion is well aware of that. It is very flashy. How can you miss it? But can they still win without a Zyra ulting?
Who knows? Right now, St. Bridget's actually chasing down Demon a little bit, trying to bait out the root. Actually, the initiation has started. A lot of more. It's getting good CC. The ultimate comes up for Graves, doing a lot of damage. Will the Absolute Zero do enough? It's quite a bit. Inubish has fallen. Cruiser has popped his Guardian Angel. Westrice will kick down to Ignite. Curse is taking this fight. Cruiser goes down. Demon Lord taking a lot of damage. Wild Turtle, the last survivor. Can he get away? Can he defend this? Does not look like it.
No, he is going to be the last. He's the sole survivor here. All lanes of Curse are pushing in their favor. Every single one of them. It can Wild Turtle defend this? No, he has 30 seconds before his nearest teammate is spawned. Oh, he almost goes there. Tries the ultimate away. But no, the burst from Curse just a little bit too much. 1 Nexus turret goes down. Another Nexus turret goes down. The Nexus falls as well. We are going to be going to Game 3 of this Losers Bracket Finals. Wow. So, I mean, Curse showing they've got a lot of fight left in them. They are not going to go down easy. This is going to be a tough road for Legion to come back and have a rematch against TSM in the Grand Finals.
They don't want 4th. They want to go ahead, take it all the way, or 3rd actually. They want to take 1st place. And right now, the only person standing in between them and 1st is going to be Legion and Curse for each other. So they just want to take each other out, just they want to get there. They want to take out TSM. They want all the gold, all the circuit points. They want everything.
Yeah, they're trying to go all the way here. And, I mean, you can't really ask for a better series. I love going into Game 3. You know, it's just so exciting. Everything is on the line. When you go to Game 2, it's like, you know, one team has a game advantage. Let's say, you know, Legion wins the first game, of course. They have a little wiggle room, you know. Everything is on the line for Curse in Game 2, but Legion don't have to play like, you know, it's everything. In Game 3, both teams have to play exceptionally well, and they have to play like everything is on the line, because really, in this case, it is 100%.
There is no backup.
No backup whatsoever.
If they lose, they're gone. We'll put them in a van. We'll just send them back to the hotel.
Exactly. Put them on a plane, get them out of here. The San Francisco IPL Face-Off 2012. We'll be right back with Game 3 of Legion versus Curse. Welcome back, guys. This is going to be Game 3 of the Losers Bracket Finals between Legion and Curse. But first, if you've enjoyed all the fantastic events going on right now, all the fantastic League of Legends matches, StarCraft 2 was here yesterday, and it was a brilliant series as well. Be sure to check out IGN Pro League on Twitter, IGN Pro League, and also the YouTube.com. You need a .com somewhere in there, /IPL LOL. So check out all the VODs. Actually, the VODs of all yesterday's matches, I believe, are already up. I was able to watch those, and they were fun. Some of the matches that I missed, because we were casting, of course, but I was able to see them. And we have had some awesome League of Legends this weekend.
I mean, there has been no series where I'm just like, man, I wish I hadn't watched that. Even a couple of the 2-0s, they were still solid matches. Lots of good play coming out from all the teams.
Yeah, and if you even want to play like some of the professional players, be sure to check out lolpro.com as well, with professional written guides by each of these members. Some of the Curse players, if you like their play, if you like how St. Vicious plays Maokai or Shyvana, you may have a guide or two up on that site, lolpro.com. And just, it's not even just guides. That's the best thing. It's not just guides. There's also videos, tournament matches, some VODs, and also some guides about like just general laning and general zoning and stuff like that. That's also really interesting to check out. You can get a lot better at the game if you so desire. But again, this is everything. This is game 3.
One mistake could lead to be kicked out of the tournament in this next game. And, neither team, they want to be here. I would not come here and just be like, oh, I'm going to take 3rd place. That's okay. No, I want to take 1st. And Curse and LgN are going to be much more determined than I am. They have the potential. You had Wild Turtle just doing work in that first game. And this second game, St. Vicious on Maokai, the Zyra coming out from Jackie, they're just so solid. They're just confident, good players.
And are we going to see any interesting bans here coming out from either team? Do you think LgN is going to take Alistar off the table? Do you think they're going to kill off that Vladimir? Or, is Curse going to keep banning Gragas? What's going to happen here?
Well, what actually dominated that second game for Curse? There was a good Zyra play. There was good Vladimir play. There was good Maokai play. Just everybody played well. Even Cop, just playing the standard Corki. You're not going to ban that out. There just aren't enough bans in the game to ban everything Curse can do. And it's the same for LgN. Wild Turtle, all right, he's not playing Gragas, but his TF was actually still solid, able to secure an inhibitor with just a back door. So they're playing well. I mean, they will ban something, but will it be enough?
And who knows if we'll see an Alistar ban here, just because obviously Curse would just beat Laudamor's Alistar. They weren't that scared of it. They handled it effectively. They tamed the Alistar, and they just said, get back in your pen. You're going to get slaughtered a little bit later.
Flashing a headbutt at level 2 could have, elements
I could have changed it.
If you hadn't flashed that headbutt, a First Blood on Alistar at the 3-minute mark is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So
that could have changed everything.
They know how to play against Alistar on Curse. They know how to deal with him. They know how to time their flashes appropriately, which is incredibly good. It's all just amazing reaction times coming out of them. They can do well against him, but at the same time, he's that scary bull that is almost permabanned in Europe and almost first picked always in Asia.
Yeah, but still, we'll see. I'm sure a standard Gragas ban. Did Jackie perhaps warrant some kind of a Zyra ban, or are they just not really that scared of it?
Well, I believe they banned Morgana in game 2, so how much can you ban from Jackie without leaving those other scary champions like Shen open?
Yeah, it's kind of it's an opportunity cost thing. Do I leave this on the table? Do I want to take something specifically targeting one member off the table? We've seen a lot of players here. Of course, they get high elo, they get solo queue rated, and they get known for certain champions. Jackie has a famous Vigar. We saw Westress's Dirty Akali over there. Laudamor's Alistar and stuff like that. You still don't really ban against it. You don't say, you don't really see people banning Vigar or banning Akali against Curse and teams like that. But at the same time, they still have that potential to play them. I would love to see a Jackie Vigar.
I would love to see a Vigar Akali game. That would be pretty cool.
That would be sick. If everyone, and I wish we could just have a show match where everyone just played their most well-known champions. We had Alistars and Shyvanas and Corkis and stuff like that. It would be really, really fun.
I think an A-ring would be pretty cool, but I believe right now we're just trying to get into the game. Looks like characters are still setting up, there might be some rune shenanigans going on. You don't want to go ahead and have your AD reds for your mid, for example.
Well, we've seen both games, LgN obviously took a pretty commanding lead game 1, Curse able to come back, claw their way into game 2. Now going into game 3, is there anything that, LgN or Curse needs to really, really worry about? Like what went wrong in game 1 and game 2 for them respectively?
Game 1, it was those early Maokai ganks. Game 2, it was those early Maokai ganks. So
maybe a Maokai
might
ban?
Be a pretty good ban, actually.
That would be quite an interesting ban. Speaking of picks and bans, we are actually in right now. We don't want to have as much downtime. So there we go. First ban, Shyvana. So still targeted pretty directly at St. Vicious.
St. Vicious, we don't like your Shyvana, get out of here.
Exactly.
It's very commonly played by him. He knows how to use her well. And actually, Curse has been using Lulu, for example, and other just like Orianna characters with their shield and AoE based off allies. So they can use it quite well. Gragas banned against Wild Turtle because he was a big troll in that first game and should feel ashamed.
Yeah, and the two completely targeted bans right off the bat. Shyvana for Saint, Gragas for Wild Turtle. What is going to be the second ban out from LgN? They're discussing. They have about 5 seconds to go ahead and lock one. Unless they just don't want to make a ban. Maybe they just want to go for 2 bans.
Yeah.
It's
just
strategy.
See what Curse does. Alistar being banned out. It didn't work last game. It can always work. So feeling not too confident. Maybe going for that Maokai first pick.
Perhaps, yeah. Maokai has been a deciding factor in both games, as we've discussed many times. And Alistar, they're just saying he's not first pick worthy, pretty much. Rumble being banned out from Curse. See what the third bans will round out. Is Cruiser a fairly well-known Rumble player? I'm not entirely sure.
He plays a good deal of Rumble. He's very solid as Rumble. I would love to see it, but Curse is not going to let that happen. He plays a good Lee Sin too, which would be awesome. And I believe he actually did that against Wii in Game 2 to secure a win against a Rumble.
Wonderful, wonderful.
West-Rice, no Vlad.
So West-Rice, no more Vladimir. We're going to see what else he can pull out. He's pulled Aurelia. We've seen Jax. We've seen York. We've seen just the other game that I just read, Darius. We saw really good Darius actually against World Elite.
Darius support York, OP.
Yeah, that happened. That was really, really impressive. York being the third ban out from Curse and a first pick of Shin. We could potentially see West-Rice run Darius again, because what he did there is while they were 1v1 up top lane, every time Madball's back on MTWNA when he was playing Shin, there was a flash apprehend from Darius. So you think they're going to think about something, another Jackie Morgana? I hope so.
That's always good.
But do you think they're going to try to pick something that will be able to stop that Stand United from coming in?
Problem was, Legion was watching that game over to the side. They were saw it happen. They know that Darius is a possibility, so they're going to be cut for it with aggressive ganks. If they do go for that Darius pick, Legion has a plan in mind. At the same time, though, West-Rice did do an amazing job. Flash Apprehend covers quite a bit of distance, I believe like 1,000 units or something, like 1,000,000 TMOs, I'm just going to say.
Yeah, you definitely need to measure distances in TMOs. I'm pretty sure that's the most obvious way to do it.
It's the science of Runeterra.
Nunu and Morgana being locked in, so we will see Jackie on Nunu and Elements on, backwards, Jackie on Morgana and Elements on Nunu. And a Rise pickup from Legion. Rise does very, very well against Morgana.
We saw him use quite effectively actually in some Team League games. They would use Flash Rune Prison to really set up the fights. Rise is just a solid character. Like you said, he's good against Morgana. He can set up just great catches later on in the game, similar to Morgana.
Would you do it?
West-Rice, play it. West-Rice, I'm looking at you, West-Rice. I want you to play it right now. He's shaking his head. No.
Do it, West-Rice.
Come on, West-Rice. I know you're shaking your head.
Can we cheer a little bit?
Lock it in.
Or Vigar, get out of here.
All right.
Well, what are you going to do? How hard is
Wait,
Curse going
what would
right
these
now?
lanes be? What would these lanes...
Come on. I mean, he can't really pick Vigar. Akali would be an okay pick.
Make some noise with the Akali. I want to see a West-Rice Akali. Oh, Sona, come on.
No. What a cop-out. Cop-out. There you go. RZ's just going to lock in Sona and Graves. Just switch to Akali at the last second. That would be wonderful.
Come on. Cassidy, come on.
No, we still have time. There's still a fifth pick. Maybe they just don't want to show their top lane just yet. They're still discussing West-Rice, the last person to pick. Maybe he's saving the best for last. Maybe we will see his dirty, dirty Akali in this Game 3 of the losers finals between Legion and Curse. What's the two picks you think could round out this team here? What's the AD carry and support going to be?
Well, it's actually very odd that they picked it last, so they may be trying to go for another 2v2 situation because they know that Sona Graves will be the bot or top, the two lane for Curse, so they can really pick whatever they think will work against it. Normally what works against Graves is a lot of poke. Someone like Corky is actually incredibly effective with him. Now, who's the support? We've been seeing a lot of Lulus lately. Leona, could this be a kill lane?
And they lock it in. So Inubish going to be reckoned with Leona. She is such an all-in champion. But I don't know. What's the counter pick to Shin up top? Like we said, we saw the Darius work. What else can go against Shin?
Vladimir can work quite well, but you know what? He's banned out.
So what can West-Rice pick up to counter this Shin? Assuming, it's so hard to predict.
Akali is actually very effective against Shin.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, hopefully we will see that, but who knows? And I mean, this is just, again, we can't predict that is going to be a 1v1 up top. That could be a 2v1 up top and a 2v1 down bottom. So counter-picking is actually kind of turned on its head in that respect,
Like, how do you counterpick Darius? Oh, they could pick it. This is legit. They used it so well before. I would love to see the Darius, the Flash Apprehend, incredibly effective.
Yeah, and we saw him just dunk master Darius, just getting resets left and right when he played him. And that's just how he works.
All right, there's 3 seconds left. First, Jax.
Oh, Jax.
All right, that can work. I like that.
And
it's in.
There it is. So we're going to see a Jax up top against the Shin or down bot in a 2-on-1. This is so confusing. They're going to keep trading. They're just trading around on Legion right now. Inubish is with Shin. Hope, yep, there we go.
There we
okay,
go.
good. It would be great to see a support Shin in a top Leona, I guess.
I don't know if they want to bust it out, for their third place match. I think they want to go to grand finals instead of losing the game.
Yeah.
But the lineup for Legion is going to be Lotta Mortis playing Maokai, Demon Wall playing Corki, Inubish playing Leona, Wild Turtle playing Rise, and Cruiser, the Bruiser playing Shen.
For Curse, we're going to have Jax with Westrise. St. Vicious is actually going to be doing Jungle Nunu here. Jackie on Morgana, Cop with Graves, and Elements on his Sona, which he's been playing very, very well this entire tournament, the past few series of games. And Cop actually deciding to go Cleanse. He's had that, I believe, the past few games, while Corki has Ignite. What is the kind of mindset there?
This actually looks like Curse wants to go for a 2v2 lane, because Cleanse, it's going to be effective if you have to deal with the Ignite, the hard harass coming in from Corki. Normally, though, if it's a 2v1, you just want Ignite because you can kill nerds.
Kill nerds. That's exactly what we're looking to do here in the IPL San Francisco Face-Off 2012. This is going to be the losers bracket finals. This is game 3. So whoever loses this is out. Whoever wins this will go ahead to face TSM in the grand finals. And I know you guys, haven't been given Legion the most love in the world, but I want to see a rematch between them and TSM. Does anyone else want to see? If you want to cheer for Legion right now, if you want to have them take this game 3 of the losers finals. Nothing. Almost nothing.
Oh, come
That's
on.
sad.
Nothing? No sound? All right, all right. Okay,
That
what
guy
about
wants
Curse? Let's
Have
make
a
some
here
noise
for
for Curse
Curse.
then.
So a lot of people in the crowd apparently wants Curse to go ahead and take this game 3. And I can't blame him. Legion is a dark horse. They came into this kind of as an underdog, and they're trying to come in to win this. If they could take third place, that's awesome. If they could take second place, cool. If they take first place, great. But Curse has kind of had a rough patch, a bad string, I would say. People started hating on Curse, saying they'll never win a tournament, but right now they are close. They can taste the glory.
They do have the bronze secured. They want the silver league, want the gold, and despite an earlier spat, an argument being streamed from their apartment, they've really come together as a team. They are getting very good, very organized.
Good job calling out St. Vicious for that argument.
I never called him out specifically, but he does have a, let's not go into that actually, but the game is finishing loading. Elements on the slow Sona computer.
Yes, indeed. I think he is hooked up to a toaster over there. I'm not quite sure, but here we go. Game 3 starting off. Score is 1-1. Whoever wins this, again, TSM in the grand finals is waiting for them with bated breath, and they are watching. They are all seeing what Legion and Curse are going to break out here. Legion going to march down the mid lane. Curse will be down bot, ping that bottom brush. It looks like where they're going to set up camp, waiting for Legion to try and face check it. But it looks like Legion is going to counter it and go just up top instead. So it doesn't look like we're going to have much level 1 engage. But let's say it does happen. Let's say Inubish gets paused. Then that probably wouldn't be a very good thing. So we are currently in that pause, perhaps having some problems.
It looks like there was a small little tech issue. We might be remaking the game, I believe. We'll go ahead and try and figure out what's going on. There are admins running around talking to dudes from both teams trying to figure out what's going on.
Yes, indeed. But anyway, while we're in this pause, we can actually kind of theory craft a tiny bit. How do you feel about like a level 1 engage from this? You got the Twisted Advance from Legion. You have the Twisted Advance. You got the Phospho Bomb, which does a lot of damage. You have either the Shield of Daybreak or the Zenith Blade from Leona, Rune Prison from Rise, and the Shadow Dash from Shin. On the side of Curse, you've got the Counter Strike. After a few seconds of warming up, he can AoE stun, the Snowball, the Dark Binding, and no real hard CC from Sona. If Legion were to enter into a level 1 fight, I feel like they would come out on top.
Legion does have better CC, but there's still quite a bit of damage, and there will probably be saplings coming out from Maokai, because normally Twisted Advance is not a good jungle skill. So it looks like we're actually going to go ahead and resume the game. We've missed about a minute of action. Actually, no, what am I talking about? We've been waiting for about a minute, so it's all good. Let's go ahead and see what happens with that level 1 invade.
Here comes Nubish on Leona. He is down. Oh, camera modes, in case you needed to know. That is what they do. So there's Curse in that bot brush, exactly where they ping, following up on their leader's orders. So Maokai again on Lotta Mortis. We saw him be so effective with it game 1. Then we saw St. Vicious retort with a counter Maokai in game 2. So Maokai, he could have a 100% win rate in the series, assuming that Legion comes out on top. Curse right now going to invade the enemy jungle. Going to go ahead for a red buff steal, I would assume. The Smite Consume combo that St. Vicious is bringing to the table deals so much damage that it's really, really easy to counter jungle, and that's what Nunu is exceptional at.
And Maokai has shown to have issues with counter jungling in the past. His samplings are decent for actual jungling, but you know, he has mana problems, he isn't super fast, and he is dependent on that long cooldown in sampling. So it's good, but not great.
And it looks like LgN did spot Curse nearing their race. Curse, will they pull out of this? Looks like they are going to. They're not going to go for that red buff steal. Instead, they're just going to lay down that kind of defensive ward just to get vision of Maokai, see when he moves over to those wraiths, when he moves over to the red buff. Because, you know, a lot of the stuff about jungling is timing, you know. If you see him pass through there, you can kind of time, assuming he does wraiths, then red, then graves, then golems. If Graves is just in the jungle, that would be ridiculous. And then golems, you can kind of guess, oh, he may be down here in the next minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, however long it takes him.
So blue buff is being secured by Curse right now. Maokai does start in his own jungle, getting his own blue buff, but look top lane, Demon Lord and Inubish are waiting for anything. Jax, if you walk near that bush, you will take so much damage. Cruiser is there too, so they do not expect this. This is just an ambush onto Westrice. Don't get near that bush, Westrice.
But Cruiser is here too with 3-man gank. Westrice, UXA too far, the Shadow Dash and the Phosphor Bomb with the Ignite. The counter-strike mitigating started, the flashes, he gets out of there! Westrice perfectly getting out of that situation with a brilliant counter-strike pickup. That's not a normal pickup on Jackson level 1. He did that absolutely perfectly and instinctually. St. Vicious waiting around the corner. Hey, I'm a Nunu, what's up? And here's a 2-on-2 in the jungle. The Dark Finding lands on a Wild Turtle. Who will fall, if anyone? A lot of Mortars flashed over the wall with Ignite still ticking on him, and St. Vicious is going to flash into Elements, but can they turn around and pick up this kill? No. Curse and LgN will both get out of there. Oh, St. Vicious, you're waiting on this. You want that tree, you want to chop it down? No, indeed. Wow, so much action already, but no kills.
No one taking any sort of advantage, and up in the top lane, I guess Corki does have a bit of experience over Westrice. He's going to have a great poke with him. Leona's going to have a lot of kill potential. Shen does show up in the bot lane, you know, to go for that 1v2, and he expected to be zoned out early, so that was the glory of that plan. They knew Shen wanted to get that much experience early on, so send him top lane, try to get a kill, then send the bot.
Yeah, and just a great play by LgN to try that. You know,
it was cool.
It was a shot in the dark. Why the heck not? Let's see if we can get the early kill. Let's see if we can start snowballing. This is game 3. You know, this is for all the marbles to go up to the grand finals. So why not? You know, why not throw it? Exactly. If you have some tricks up your sleeve, now is the time to pull at least one of them out. You know, you can save the rest of them for the big show. But right now, really, there's
$40,000 on the line. That is not a small number.
No, indeed. So Demon Law and Nubish pushing onto this turret right now. They have a large creep wave behind them. St. Vicious, here he comes to the mid lane against the Rise. Now, you know, Rise can Rune Prison. They're going to meet here, just talk over a ward. It looks like he activates the Blood Boil, does get a snowball off, but I believe he is just going to pull away from that. You know, the thing about Nunu that kind of stinks is that he doesn't have really a big gap close. You know, he can throw his snowball, he can get the slow off, but we saw him have problems. Yeah, we saw him have problems with the Shin a few games ago, you know, with mad balls on that. But right now, trying to gank in on a Rune Prison Rise, do you think actually Jackie does go down? We're going to go back, definitely, and watch. Can't miss First Blood. That is the worst thing. So we're actually going to rewind just a hair. Actually, we're kind of in the middle of it, so if we can actually go to a quick instant replay, we can watch First Blood again and see exactly how it went down.
Okay, let's go ahead and start watching this. So Jackie, gonna go ahead and apply the pressure with the Tormented Soil. Wild Troll just looking for that opening, looking for that spot where he can get some pressure. Just apply some damage with his Overload, gets another nice bounce off from his, whatever it's called, and then the Ignite Rune Prison come out. It's just damage coming out and pressure onto Jackie.
Yeah, no real big surprise there. I mean, Rise does really well against Morgana because she has her Black Shield. Yeah, it mitigates the Rune Prison CC, but it can be bursted through. Oh, St. Vicious, you're coming down bot against the Cruiser, the Bruiser, Shin. Will Westrice be able to land a Leap Strike? No, the counter strike does not hit, but he is still slow as can be. The feint will protect him from a lot of damage, but he is trying to turn this around, trying to get some damage on Westrice while Inubish is in tow. But there's Demon Lord Valkyrie it in, getting the Phosphor Bomb kill on the Westrice. The exhaust on the St. Vicious making him very slow, and here's Maokai for the icing on the cake. Will he be able to get the Twist Advance off? Does Laudamoris want to dive here? He does! He goes in with a Twist Advance and Arcane Smash knockup. Goodbye, St. Vicious. Great tower dive, and that is exactly what we expect out of Laudamoris when he jungles.
Leona able to go ahead, supplement that with that Zenith Blade CC. They now push that bot turret as top turret gets pressured down. So kills going to LgN. Both teams trying to pressure the turrets like we've seen every single game. If you can get those early turrets, it's going to be huge.
Yeah, right now, Cop Elements get it down to about half health, a little bit less, like a quarter health. Jackie, again, just taking punishment from Rise. And the thing that he's so adept at against Morgana is that, oh, there's a Dark Binding that does land. He already has a level advantage too because he did get that early kill. The thing that he's so good at, some trades up top, he can burst through the Black Shield. You know, Rise is a special AP caster. He's not super burst per se. He's a lot of sustained damage. He just keeps raining on. When they remade him, they wanted to consider him like an AP machine gun. You know, he can just go through his combo, and do it all very, very quickly. And, you know, when you can use that effectively and burst down a Black Shield, it doesn't matter anymore. You can then Rune Prison. You can do your full combo again. It's just very, very scary for Morgana.
One overload, one spell focus is usually enough to burst it in the early game, and with that, the Rune Prison is what you want next. Actually, Latimor's going for an invade, does spot St. Vicious out. Do they want to fight this, though?
Don't think so. Use the Twisted Advance kind of defensively just to knock St. Vicious into the air and pull away. As far as farm is concerned, Rise, 37 CS, does have that kill underneath his belt to the 34 CS of Morgana, 0, 1, and 0 as well. But, I mean, we've seen Jackie's Morgana. We've seen what happens late game. We've seen him do really, really well with it.
Being behind a kill is not a huge deal when you can land that binding, still have that amazing CC. One of Morgana's strengths is that she's not that farm dependent, but can still farm super well.
I want to see what happens here. Wild Turtle does ding 6 right now, so he has a slight advantage. He is very low on mana right now, though. Maokai will donate that blue buff to his friend. Rise is going to go over there and collect that for himself. Jackie looks like he's going to do the same thing. So 2 casters right now in AP mid are going to have their own blue buff. So not a whole lot of counter jungling, I would say. In game 1, we saw Latimortis pressure every blue buff. We saw Legion pretty much say, if you want to take any of your buffs, you're going to have to fight us for it. But no such luck this game.
Actually, Maokai's ahead in CS by about 12, so the jungling going more in favor of Legion right now. Very uncommon, but the early pressure did not work out for Nunu. 1 death was actually across 3 members of Curse, showing that they tried to, you know, map presence, but it did not work out. Dragon now being started though by Legion, but Curse is here to respond.
And here we go. This is going to be a fight. It looks like Curse is going to bully Legion away. Wild Turtle is low on mana, but of course he has that super mana regen from blue buff. Shen actually making his way down bot as well to the dragon fight. He has his ultimate. He could have stayed and split push top, but again, I'm sure he's very, very worried about Jax's Counter-Strike canceling that out.
And right now, the bottom lane is being pressured. It has not fallen. It is now a normal 2v2, which Curse does want. They want to hold on to this turret as much as possible, trying to push out that bot lane. Normally, Curse tries to avoid the 2v2 situation. They're much more comfortable with a 2v1, but they're in a good spot because Jax should now be able to handle Shen at this point. He got a few levels, has some good sustained DPS. And bottom, you know, Brave Sona, they have their burst, and soon Sona will have her ult, and it's amazing CC.
Yes, indeed. So, I mean, just like there, Shen, you saw him start hoofing it down towards Dragon, rather than stay in lane and try to ultimate from far away, respecting the fact that Westrice will do everything in his power to stop the Stand United teleport. We saw it when he was Darius, and he has the exact same capability when he is Jax here.
We actually do have Morgana going into her jungle, actually spotted by both Latimortis, and actually trying to get the Rue on the Wild Turtle. Does back up towards her turret, though. Bot turret falls in response, and right now, actually, Graves might be in a dangerous spot.
No, looks like he's going to be able to get on there. A lot of Mortis does have flash. Could have flashed over that wall, but his teammates were a little bit too far behind. Leona and Corki may not have been able to make it there in time. Corki has his Zerker Greaves, but not much else. He's 1-0-1 right now to Graves 0-0-0 with 58 CS, Zerker Greaves, and Doran's Blade. So Cop just a hair ahead, even though Corki pretty much just hasn't gone back to Riot.
He could definitely go to get a bit more than those Berserker Greaves. He's got good CS. He's able to still bully, though, because Graves has to be afraid of that Leona combination. You land the ultimate, you land her Zenith Blade, you land her Shield of Daybreak, and it's just so much CC and burst because of her passive.
And Shen actually picking up a Cage's lucky pick. Is that just not purely for the GP10? I mean, it gives his feint and it gives his Stand United a little bit more I suppose. But really, do you see that often?
Not really. It's you know, a nice item just because it gets a bit more damage, a bit more shield, and it's actually kind of left over. Shen used to actually be designed as an AP champion with his first remake last year, and it's kind of a remnant. He still benefits quite a bit from the AP stat.
I would love to see a DFG Shen. I would love to Stand United and just instantly burst someone for 30% of their health, just for good measure. But right now, Wild Turtle and Jackie still sitting in their own lanes. One turret is down for each team. Legion actually in the lead, about 1.3k gold. They're up 3 kills. That is very, very important right now. Lane matchups, you see Jax as 51 CS has amassed 2.4k gold to the 2.6k gold, 47 CS of Shen. although Shin is 0-0-2 right now, still a bit ahead of that Jax. 80 carries, 77 CS for Graves, 2.9k gold amassed. Corky, 80 CS, 3.3k gold amassed, so he is already starting to pull away from that Graves.
It's going to be hard for First to actually deal with that Corky, because he's going to have a lot of frontline protection. You know, he will be diveable, but there will be someone rushing at him. All of us actually caught by a biting. Crescendo is used. Great Crescendo locks down 2 people, and Westrice disengages with that lead strike. A great fight from First, getting that really long cooldown ultimate used for really no reason.
Yeah, the Shin ultimate has a very, very long cooldown at level 1. I know they just changed it so that it kind of scales and it gets lower with level, but they didn't want to make such a consistent nuisance early game.
200 seconds at level 1. That's over really? 3 minutes, yeah.
Wow, so a 3-minute and 20-second cooldown at level 1, and now this may allow Curse to take a free Dragon. Legion, not really in the area. Don't believe they have any vision on it whatsoever. And, you know, they have no Shin ult to boot, so it's like, whatever. They go in and get it. They ping the Dragon. They know something is afoot, but Curse already picked it up. Dijak going to make his way down mid lane. That is going to close the gold gap just a bit. Now, only 1k behind is Curse.
You know, those early kills did pay off, but, you know, nothing's really been done with them. They took down that early turret. Top is still up, though, for Curse. I mean, Legion, they should be applying more pressure. They know they have an advantage, but if they let Dragons fall like that, you know, it's going to dwindle away.
And I believe in the grand scheme of things, correct me if I'm wrong, but most teams would favor taking down the bot tier 1 first before the top tier 1, if that makes sense. You know, it gives you more Dragon control, right?
It depends on the situation. For Dragon control, it'll be better if you think it's going to be a longer Baron-focused game and you want the top turret down. For this very second, bottom turret will be stronger. And at the 20-minute mark, you want top turret down more.
Okay, so Curse will definitely benefit as it goes more into the late game in that respect. You know, assuming Legion doesn't counter it and go ahead and take a top tier 1 turret for their own. But we got the boots mobility once again on Maokai with the Heart of Gold GP10 ticking and the Fairy Charm going to be built into a Philo Stone. One can only assume Morgana go ahead and pick up this blue buff of her own. Saintfish low on mana, but that's okay because he doesn't need a lot of mana to jungle every 6 or 7 attacks, I believe it is. Maybe 5.
Actually, recently buffed to 5, yeah.
5 now. He will get that visionary buff, and it will be a free spellcast, so he doesn't need it that much to jungle. He's going to go back and pick up the mana anyway from his own fountain, so that is good for him. He also buys a GP10, so he's got 2 GP10s sticking right now. Sona also has 1. Got the Ruby Crystal, going to build that into Heart of Gold as well. And I mean, these GP10s just, they're everywhere. Almost everyone likes to build GP10s. And for good reason.
They're safe, they're reliable, they will, you know, lead you into a late game if you're feeling behind, if you're feeling comfortable and confident. You can get them anyways because you know you will always get that incoming gold. Corky actually this game is going for a Triforce. I believe last time we saw the Infinity Edge coming out on Legion, so game 1 it was an Infinity Edge, but this time they don't have that comfortable zoning. They're expecting a lot more disadvantage because Leona and Maokai will both be diving in there, so less Corky protection, so he needs that HP, needs that chase, needs that Triforce proc.
And they're sitting around this blue buff right now of Curse. Legion unaware that it was taken not too long ago and it is still rested squarely on Nijaki's shoulders. Shin is up top, and you know, this is perfect for Legion because they would love to engage right now because Shin is unabated up top. He could ult in with no worry unless an errant creep randomly stuns him somehow. He will get into any fight that Legion so chooses.
Be a great feature of promote, but right now they're looking for an opening. Dragon has been taken, so the only objectives up right now are going to be just, you know, small parts of the jungle and the turrets. And the turrets have been the focus for the most part. So which team can really apply that turret pressure first?
Who indeed, they're tied 1-to-1 turret. Rise in the mid. He is rocking 118 CS to Morgana on Nijaki, 114. So Nijaki does have the Negatron cloak. She is going to be building that into her normal Abyssal Scepter that we saw him build in game 1. Still, you know, Legion was able to take it. So Legion showing that they can deal with Nijaki's Morgana, even though he's been playing so exceptionally well this entire tournament.
They can set up the fights, they can set everything up, but they know they're ahead by enough where it should be a little in their favor. You know, a bit. If the positioning is solid, though, Jackie has to blow a lot just to get a good ultimate off. And if that's the case, before he has his Zonias, he'll be very susceptible to CC, to being blown up. Just any sort of good focus can really be pain for Jackie.
And I know Jax is a champion that scales very, very well into late game, but, you know, so is Rise. As far as late game is concerned, who do you give the edge to here, you know, if it does go to such late game?
One of Jax's biggest problems is actually getting CC'd. So there's a lot of CC from Leona. Even though I believe you can dodge her Q, it will still eventually land. It won't actually be used if it is dodged.
Can you counter-strike dodge her Shield of Daybreak?
You might be able to. You might not. I'm not positive on that. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm sure we'll see it happen.
Shen has his taunt. There's lots of protection for Corki if Jax goes for a big dive. And if that's the case, you know, they're feeling confident with that. But if Jax does get any sort of free damage onto Corki, he will just melt him almost immediately.
All right, so be sure to watch for Jax jumping into the back lines, and that's kind of the difference. Jax, you know, to deal his late game super damage, he has to go in. He has to jump into the back lines of Curse to melt those squishy carries like Corki and like Morgana may be. But right now, a lot of Mortis trying to defend this mid turret, but the Dark Binding and Tormented Soil just puts him right back in his place. And now that tier 1 turret for LgN is very low. It's about a quarter to a half health. Curse can pretty much pressure it and take it pretty easily if they so desire.
They're not feeling confident though, and that's, you know, how Curse plays. If they don't like the situation, they back up, do something else. It looks like they're gonna go ahead, go towards the top lane, maybe clear from the jungle, and just wait for something to happen. Wait for that opening to reveal itself in the mid lane, for them to see Corki maybe farming bot lane, and they can push that turret once again.
Wait for that opening to open. Very astutely said. I like it a lot. Leona, 2 CS. Very far ahead of the, oh, she's very behind the Sona,
yeah.
13 CS.
11 CS, man, that's a lot of CS.
13 CS, yes, she is farming very effectively. And Elements has just been playing so well on Sona. You know, this is the first time I've seen Nubish play Leona, so I'm not quite sure of his skill there, but again, Elements has been playing a lot of Sona this tournament, and it's really been paying off for Team Curse.
Leona is actually played very well by Nubish, but unfortunately she's not a reliable champion. What if things go wrong? What if Leona's just squishy? She will just die in early team fights, maybe only getting 1 CC off just before she bursted down.
A nice sapperling will spot Westrice hiding in that brush. Curse posturing up, waiting for this dragon spawn. There's Saintfish. He's actually going for that Oracle, for that ward. He may pay for this though. Westrice jumps in, get the counter strike off onto 2 targets, and Jackie follows up with the Soul Strike. Will a Shen ultimate be enough to save line of Mortis? No. Now Cruiser is left standing in this fight. Rise with the aggressive flash, takes down Westrice with a nice full combo there, and Jackie turns around with a Dark Binding, locking him in place. That will be a 1-for-1 exchange. I mean, jungler died and a top lane died, so I guess you could say it's in the favor of Legion.
But that is the reaction of NY Jackie. You see this immediately, the CC coming out from Legion onto St. Vicious, but it wasn't enough. He just cast a Black Shield so quickly, despite not expecting it, despite not seeing them flash in. It's just, oh, someone's in danger, E, and then target him right away. And that is Jackie's strength with Morgana. He is fast on the Black Shield.
It's almost instinctual. It's like his motherly instincts kick in for Nunu, and he has to save him. Right now, Curse looks like they're going to go ahead and take this blue buff of their own, but Legion knows. Will they go in? No, it looks like they're just going to ward over the wall. They're going to watch Curse's movements here. Jax is a little bit behind in tow. Shen, no ultimate. See, Rise, of course, has his ultimate. No ultimate from Leona right now. And there's also no ultimate from Morgana. This could be a favor of Legion. They do decide to engage with the Leona Zenith Blade. Westrice taking a lot of damage. There's Corki with the aggressive Valkyrie. Elements may go down. The missile does barely dodge him, but the auto attacks will pick him up instead. And the Dark Binding on Anubish, but no follow-up. Curse a little bit too split right there. So a great fight and a great engage from Legion, despite not having Leona ulti and despite not having Shen's ulti. We can actually take the dragon real quick, and then we're actually going to go back and just look at exactly how Legion decided to play out that fight in an instant replay.
And right now, Legion, they're going to go ahead, roam towards that mid lane. They can apply a pressure across the map. They're looking just for any sort of advantage they can get now. They have the dragon. They have a lot of control. A 4,000 gold lead in favor of them at the 20-minute mark is quite a bit. And we'll go ahead and hop in that replay. So the blue buff is being secured by Curse at this moment as the fight starts. Dragon pressure was on. They go ahead, see the ward come down. They're waiting for just Initiate to come out, just for someone to make the false step. And his full team's really building up here. Anubish, though, gets a great Zenith Blade onto Elements. Westrice tries to go in onto Corki, but can't quite do enough. And then Curse is on the run. They don't have mana on Jackie. They don't have mana on Elements. And Westrice is being focused down by Rise. And the chase from Demon Lord is too much from them. Curse just did not have the option because they did not have the mana. And it just chased out from the fight in the end.
Go right back on the live. And I didn't really even notice that Legion actually threw a ward in that brush just instantaneously, just so they didn't lose vision. They did not want to lose vision of Sona and of Jax, and a greatly placed ward by Nubish. If he was the one that threw it out, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure because 3 members of Legion actually have wards right now, while 2, on Curse. It's something you don't normally think. Like, usually people think it's a support's job to ward, but no, it's a group effort.
It's not that the supports have to ward, it's that everybody will be in a position to ward at some point. You will be in a dangerous spot where you know you need to be protected. Just slap down that ward, carry it on you. And of course, inventories being full is actually a reason wards take up slots, just because it's a decision. Do you carry that ward or do you buy another item?
And that's sometimes, if you think about Jax, actually really benefits from a ward, just because he can use it defensively, he can use it to watch his lane or watch whatever he wants to, keep an eye on, or he can use it to leap strike to it, in a bad situation. It's almost like an extra flash in that respect. But we don't see Westrice picking up one on Jax, so I guess he just doesn't want to waste the 75 gold. It's maybe too large of an investment for his blood.
I mean, he does want to rush, I believe, that Triforce. He does have the Brawler's Gloves with that crit, looking for a Zeal. Going to build it, and with Triforce, Jax's damage increases quite a bit, gives him a bit of HP and a great amount of chase. And if he gets a good Triforce proc, that's a lot of damage he'll be able to apply. But right now, Jax is pretty squishy, and he's not doing the most damage out there.
He has that Phage now and the Zeal. Picks up a ward. There's the ward that he so needed. 111 CS for him, 129 CS for Shin, though, 1-0 and 4. He's got the Sunfire Cape, and that is going to mitigate a lot of the auto attack damage, the AD damage of Curse, which is mainly Graves, but at the same time, Jax does a really interesting kind of hybridization of damage.
His ultimate, which is quite a bit of damage, procs every third strike, is going to be magic damage, and normally it will be a lot of physical damage too. And the thing with Shen is he also gets a lot of damage from HP. So with his passive Key Strike and actually Vorpal Blade, the heal will both improve with HP.
Here comes Cruiser in mid lane. Will he be called out? He decides to actually Shadow Dash in. Element returns fire with a crescendo, locking out two members of LgN. Cop now being stoned out by Lana Mortis. There's Nijak. The Zenith play onto Cop. Will lock him down. And Demon with a nice long-range crit. In the meantime, Nijak gets a double kill onto Maokai, and he flashes actually back into the enemy jungle. Westrice is now in this fight, saying, "I'm here now. Hear me roar." Demon Law goes down, but Westrice may pay for it. He actually decides to leap strike defensively to his buddy Nijaki. Westrice trying to clean up there, but not quite able to do it.
The shield, or the stun does go through his counter-strike.
Wild Turtle, how wild are you going? Can you make it? No? Oh.
They're just going for the push. They don't know he's in that push. He will get away successfully, but the only stun that does actually go through the counter-strike, it turns out. And right now, they lost the fight, but they know that Curse is on the retreat. They're going to try and pressure this turret, get a bit of damage onto it, because something is better than nothing. And I mean, Legion, they tried hard, but unfortunately, Westrice coming into the fight late, the great burst, and the cleanse actually from Graves, stopping all of Leona's stun was just impressive.
And do you think had Jax been in that fight a little bit earlier, do you think in a full 5-on-5 engage, Curse would have been able to come out on top again?
It was a possibility, but you know what, he wasn't there, and if you're going to be off to the side farming, Curse, they got to know when to initiate, and that was a great fight for them.
Yes, indeed. The blue buff of Curse did just spawn. Nijak can go ahead and kind of posture over there and go ahead and take it. But, we've seen Legion before really stick to these buffs. Will they go ahead and contest this? No, it looks like Maokai is transitioning up top or staying around mid, just doing a little jig on the mini-map right now. Shin is down bot. He does not have his ultimate right now, so the split pushing isn't going to be the most efficient thing in the world that you normally see from Shin. Normally has his ultimate, normally has his global pressure, but right now he does not.
He's actually taking a risk. If they do see him in the bot lane and think they can go for Dragon, well, unless they know how long Shen's cooldown is, which is quite long, they're going to have to play that game. Do we actually go for the Baron? Do we go for that risky objective? Shen might not show up. Or, do we wait and just assume he's going to have the ult up? I mean, if he picks up a blue buff or any sort of extra CDR, that can really throw off timings.
Yeah, right now, a lot of Mortis is going to help out with his own Wraiths. There's been a little bit of counter jungling from both teams, but not too significant here.
They're both scared. They can easily catch each other out. If Westrice shows up with a counter-strike, if a lot of Mortis catches you in his jungle, you will be twisted advanced, and there's a lot of ways to catch people off if they go for these invades. So both teams very cautious about it. And overall, the blue buff is effective for both teams. Like, they want to secure their own rather than go for the enemies, just because they know how important it is to Morgana and Ryze.
Yes, indeed. St. Vicious does have that Oracles. He has had it for a little while, He's just been getting those Oracles, it feels like, earlier and earlier in the game. And it just eliminating the vision of the enemy team as early as possible. Really, not only does it just suck because you can't see anything, but it's an investment that they're losing. They invested 75 gold per ward, and in early game, that can add up, and a support can fall really far behind because of that. So he's doing that for many reasons, and it looks like it's been paying off so far.
I mean, with that Oracle, you can go ahead, deny vision, come back later, or know that you're safe to gank. Actually, Dragon has been started by Curse, and Legion's trying to do something to stop it.
Shin ultimate is up. Will Legion going up? There's Night Jackie's Black Shield being blown really early, but it gets blown through by Wild Turtle. Here's the Shin ultimate. Who can he taunt? No one. A great flash from Elements will get him just out of range of the Shadow Dash. There's the absolute zero, but the Twisted Advance Malachi knocks him up. A no channel for you. Sona falls, and now St. Vicious will fall as well to the hands of Demon Lord Night Jackie. Can you get out of here with your soul shackles? No, you cannot. Flatten like a pancake. And now Jax sitting near his blue buff, still pretty much full health, still not really in that fight. Really, really unfortunate for Curse there.
And Curse, what are they going to do as a response? They're going to actually head towards Baron right now. A major objective, 15 seconds until St. Vicious respawns. Can Westrace and Cop stop this? They know it's happening.
They do indeed. They have a Warden there, and there's no Oracles from LgN, so Curse is just going to be able to watch this. They're going to be able to bide their time. Do they want to go in? Rise doing a great job of coming out. Smite is doing a great job of just zoning both players of Curse out. There's the engage. Wild Turtle will defensively flash over the wall, saving him from a lot of damage. Now Cop exhaust. Will he quick draw straight into Rise? No. He will just go down instead. But can they still take this? Rise is dangerously low. Demon Low has no mana. Lot of Mortis has half health. This is really scary. Can Curse come in and do the AoE damage enough? There's no ult from Night Jackie. He is kind of far away. But do they have the AoE damage to stop this? Can Consume Smite Nunu get in there? We've seen it happen before.
Looking for it.
That's a lot of damage from the true damage of Consume. And then Smite on top. Saint wants it. Saint splashes up. Will he go in?
He
will he
faces the flash!
He doesn't get it. He fails the flash. Saint Vicious fails the flash and is not able to steal that Baron. Man, oh man, he was waiting for so long. The Twisted Advance to agree, almost knocked out by Elements. But here we go, the chase. Elements should surely go down unless they just lose interest and back off, but that's not the case. They want it, and they got it. Wild Turtle is now unstoppable. Legion has Baron. Legion has a 9-kill advantage. Legion has a 6K gold advantage. How can Curse get back in this?
I mean, they have the good team fight. We've seen them do it before with Morgana. The ultimate, it can just do so much. That's why she was banned out game 2. But, I mean, they're playing on nerves. Saint missing that flash, that is not something St. Vicious would do. That is something that just happens so rarely at this level of play that you can tell he's being hit by this long series by how close he is to being just kicked out of IPL Face-Off. He's close to losing his spot in this tournament, and it's hurting the team just in terms of emotions.
Yeah, and it wasn't all his fail, though. It was, Leona did a fantastic job of zoning him, too. She used her ultimate over the wall just after her Zenith Blade, and Zenith Blade does lock you down for just a quick second. So he kind of went back just a hair, and as soon as he did, he got locked down by Zenith Blade. He got slowed by the ultimate because I don't think he was quite in the epicenter of it, and then he just reacted. His instinct was just, I need to get over that wall. I need to consume. I need to smite. But he wasn't able to do it. He was just a hair too far away, and that is super unfortunate for him, but it's super fortunate for Legion. They're looking so good right now.
Curse can still recover, though. They still have a lot of AoE, and Jax in the late game is always going to be devastating just because he hurts so much. So they have that potential. They got to play cautiously, though. They got to make sure they're not going to these crazy plays, because you know what? If they do get too risky, one good punch to lose an inhibitor, and once the inhibitor goes down, it's so hard to come back.
Yeah, Legion wearing this Baron loud and proud. They're going to have Shin split push up top. Here comes Corki to make it a 4-man push in the mid. They can siege this turret just about all day. No worries from them. There's a collateral damage, just trying to wave clear. So Cop forced to use that ultimate purely as wave clear. But, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Lauda Mortis on LgN to tower dive here. I would love to see it. He knows the Shin ultimate is up. Does he want to go on this? Tower falls right there. Tier 2 turret down. Taken by LgN. And Shin's still up top, and actually Jax goes up top as well. That's perfect, because they're just going to kind of push into each other, and Jax is going to always have the looming threat of being able to stop Stand United if Shin tries to engage in that mid-fight.
The thing is, Counter-Strike takes a little bit more to actually stop the ultimate. Actually, Leona heading towards that top lane. They're going to try and go onto Westrace. They do scare him off that turret. They can now take it themselves, and, you know, a great push coming out from Legion.
Yeah, and Curse just looking for any which way to get back into this fight, into this game. They have that ward over the wall. We could see an awesome Night Jackie Dark Binding. You know he's pinpoint on with them. And just barely dodged. A nice stutter step by Wild Turtle gets him out of harm's way. Shin now moving mid. Shin just never wants to be with his team because of his Stand United.
He doesn't have to be.
He doesn't have to be. That's the power of Shin right there. You know, Jax can keep following him all day, but then the rest of the team will come down. He'll go up top. Jax will then have to go up top. But slowly but surely,
actually, Elman's caught with the prison, does he?
Legion is winning this game just because they're sieging the turrets very effectively. And they got Baron. You know, they can stay here all day. There's no problem with them whatsoever.
Their personal Sona's healing them quite well. And right now, just one misstep from Jax, if they do send to chase down Shen, they will go ahead and lose their mid-turret. You will just get that ultimate off.
Yeah, and there's a couple auto attacks from Corki trying to push the lane a tiny bit with his missiles while dealing damage to the turret. It falls to about 3/4 health. Sapperling's also kind of not really wave clearing, but just saying hi to Jax right there, blowing up right in his face. Legion just looking good right now. It's their game to lose. Everyone is here. This is game 3. Curse doesn't want to lose. Legion wants to win. That's how it works.
It's actually odd to say this. There was a moment where literally just both teams were sitting there because they know if they make one mistake on either side, they can punish it so well. They can go ahead. Just if Curse can get a good kill possibly onto Demon Lord, it would just
actually, there's a tower dive. There's a twisted advance onto Graves. The absolute zero from Safe Fish trying to deter some of the damage. The Shin ultimate and the taunt onto Safe Fish. There's a collateral damage, but it's not enough. Jackie trying to take down a few members of LgN with him. The Zanyas, the tower will take down Rise. The shutdown comes up. Here's Westrice. Really be able to clean up. Inubish actually gets a nice shield of Daybreak, but the leap strike will pursue him, but a nice flash. The target fighting barely misses Inubish, and that is going to be a good fight for Curse right there. 3 for 1.
The chase is on. Can he actually get away?
This is not over.
The stun lands. Will it be enough? He picks up the kill. Maybe. He's actually getting away. Just
run, Nubish, run.
Nubish, nice try, but they do pick up the kill. And what is Curse doing? They're counter pushing right now. They're going towards that mid turret. Can they go ahead and actually pick up this inhibitor? 20 seconds till somebody respawns on Legion. Shen is alive, but can Shen 1v3? Probably not. He's actually pushing in the top turret.
Yes, he is. What's going to happen here? Tier 2 turret goes down at the hands of 3 members of Curse. Shen is up top. Looks like he will be deterred by Nunu up there, but how far can Curse go? Corki just spawned. Rise is about to spawn. Maokai is about to spawn. Are they just going to take this turret and leave, or are they just going to leave with the turret at half health? So, you know, at least they put down some damage on the turret. That's very, very important. Right there. Oh, Westrice take a dragon. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Dragon at this point, not the biggest deal in terms of being able to do it. Westrice solos it quite easily, and you know, they're still behind gold. 4,000 is still a big number to be behind, but you know what? They took a fight. They showed they had that presence. Legion took a risky dive, though, and they probably won't take such a chance again because, I mean, when you take a big risk and it fails like that, it's got to hurt. It's got to sting. It's got to change your mindset.
Jack's going back right now. As you saw, he has 2,400 gold to his name right now. What is he going to build? A GA, perhaps? Is that what we're going to see? Goes back, and there's the GA on Jack. So, you know, hopefully we can see a 5-on-5 engage with, you know, Westrice not so far behind. You know, he's been effective at cleaning up the fights really, really well, but I feel like if Curse wants this, they need a full 5-on-5 fight with Westrice absolutely blowing up Corki. That's really what
Which
they
actually
need.
could happen right now, but in a lot of Mortis instead.
There's a twisted advance. Safe Fish starts to channel his absolute zero. Cruiser the Bruiser with the taunt onto a few members of Curse. Jackie, his ultimate will pop, stunning Cruiser the Bruiser, not allowing him to teleport, even though he was right next to his compatriot. And now Westrice forced to use Leap Strike defensively. Legion looking really good in this fight. Westrice has his Guardian Angel there. There's a double kill for Cup. Westrice respawns and Leap Strikes away. But the Valkyrie from Demon Law, he is chasing on this. I don't think he'll be able to poke out with it. Aggressive Rune Prison, but the auto attacks won't count. The Wild Turtle takes it away. You can't dodge spells. And Jax falls. A fantastic, fantastic chase. And this game is all about the chases so far. It's looking really, really good. Legion will continue to pressure this top turret. Curse, pinging Baron. They know it's up. They could want to go for a counter Baron here, knowing that a lot of Legion's low, but Legion pings it themselves. What will they do in this situation?
I mean, right now they could go for it. They know that they have 3 for 3, but it's a huge risk to go against a Baron when they have a Consume, Smite, Nunu in the game.
And they don't have a smite themselves. So we're going to go real quick back to that play, and then we'll get back to live.
So it started out with Legion trying to go for the red buff. They try to, you know, get it in the end, but St. Vicious shows up, gets it with a smite, gets it with Consume. Demon Lord goes for the fight, and right here, Westrice starts chasing him out, trying to get him out of the fight, which would be huge. And St. Vicious, with the absolute zero, does a good deal of damage, and Morgana with her ultimate takes him quite low, but it's not enough. Westrice does get chased out, and in the end, a lot of Mortis gets taken out. Shen gets his ultimate interrupted, but Westrice is in this dangerous position all of a sudden. So it's 3 for 5. Can they actually fight this? Well, at this point, there's so much damage being done by Legion. They actually chase out Westrice, pop the Guardian Angel, you know, kill Jackie with the rockets and just auto attacks. and they had so much done, but just the follow-up damage from Demon Bolt was too much to deal with in the very end. And Wild Turtle, of course, with that amazing flash, and the Spell Flux actually bounces off of top to secure that kill.
Fantastic play right there. LgN with a great chase, looking really good. Now they're up 6 kills, and now they're up 4 to 5K gold. Can Curse come back in this? We're entering the 34th minute right now, 1-1. LgN has 1 tower advantage on Curse as well. So, you know, according to the numbers, LgN is winning this game, but Curse right now trying to tip the scales in their favor. Can they take it with a quick Baron? It is falling so fast. Will it consume might be enough? There it is. But the engage, a lot of more sides of Twisted Advance right onto Nine Jackie. The Soul Shackles will proc with the Zanias. Big Jackie's so low right now. He goes down right after it. And St. Fisher's falls. Can LgN clean up? What are you going to do, Wild Turtle? Will you engage? Here's Westrice. Cruiser the Bruiser, 2-on-1, triple kill for Cop. Misses the buckshot. He will get a taunt off 2 members and defensively flash. That was a fantastic fight for Curse, showing they are not out of this game quite yet.
If you're going to go for the push, Westrice is heading towards that turret. Is he going to try and clear the creep wave or actually just take it down and go for the inhibitor?
Go Westrice, go Westrice, go. He is pushing with that Counter-Strike. Shin, in the meantime, is up top doing the same thing, but Westrice going to be able to take this turret down pretty quickly. He has 10 seconds of unabated base time. Just him, mono, E, mono. He takes it down. There you go. And now, oh, he's not going to go for the inhibitor right now. He's actually going to pull back.
Doesn't know where Shen is, scared that when Leona responds, Leona Shen will take him out and they could just turn that around onto Curse. A great fight coming out of them, though. They have the Baron onto Graves and Jax right now. It's a huge deal, and Shen, you know, he tried to save them at the very end, but with Demon Lol does get focused out, despite the gold advantage, which is only 1,300 now, Jax can just kill him so quickly.
Westrice goes back, gets a Bilgewater Cutlass, going to build that into a Hextech Gunblade, of course. But now he has it for the chase. You've seen him come up and clean up a few of these fights already. And I love that last fight. He fell so low, but he knew he had his GA. He knew he could risk it. He went back in and was able to get 1 additional kill for his team. But then right there, man, he just zones so well. And then he's like, oh, the big damage, all the fighting's over. Let me come in and just sweep up with my push broom. There should be a Janitor Jax skin, I feel like, just for Westrice.
It actually worked out quite well, and that's a problem Jax does normally have. If he gets into a team fight, he does get a decent amount of defense from his ultimate and the items like Guardian Angel, but you don't build that much on him. There is no Frozen Heart on Jax, there is no Warmogs on Jax. So right now, he's still fairly squishy in this whole scheme of things with resist and armor. But by coming into the fights a little bit late, he can do so much and just chase out Demon Lol and just do so much damage that Jax, you know, if he's not stopped, will do.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Wild Turtle on Rise is making a show of it. He has Zanyas, Abyssal, Tear, Rod, Giant's Belt. He has all the items necessary to deal damage because, you know, he just needs to build mana. Actually, he doesn't have the normal Frozen Heart and stuff like that, but he has a different build entirely. And that Zanyas, he just needs it for, you know, defensive purposes pretty much because he has been getting focused by Curse.
And right now, he's a major threat. The sustained damage is exactly something Jax needs to deal with and has problems with because that Rune Prism will stop so much of his damage. No Leaf Strike, no Chase, and that's what Jax needs.
Yeah, he still has some decent AP ratios that they kind of instituted a little bit ago. So it's definitely doing work for him, but it's just, can he survive? Can he survive this fantastic AoE team comp of Curse that's been proving to be a force to be reckoned with? There are the rockets coming out, trying to poke Curse as much as possible. LgN cannot lose this inhibitor. Jax does have his GA up. How aggressive is he going to be? Does he want to go in? Does he want to be the aggressor now? Or does he want to stay and clean up just like he's been doing the last few fights? No, it looks like Curse is going to back off. They know there's a tier 2 bot turret up, and they don't want it to stand any longer. They could proxy the creep wave. They could just go ahead and transition to Dragon instead, and that looks just like what they're going to do. Nice quick draw and leap 2 for Graves. Oh, the buddy system.
Westrice and Cop, very good buddies. And you know, it's a good safe play that they do that. They're not taking these risks. This is what Curse does. If they find that they're in a good spot but not the best spot, they'll play safely until they know they have that big advantage. And for the first time in quite a long time, Curse takes the gold lead.
Yeah, it's by a hair. It is 200 gold. Turrets are even. And Curse is down 5 kills right now. And that's the unfortunate thing, you know, not the unfortunate thing, but the fortunate thing in spectator mode, we can see that slight difference. Players, when they hit tab, all they can see is that they're down 5 kills, and that can be really demoralizing.
Getting caught out right now. The Shrewias is blown. Can they get the twist advance? No, they do back off. Westrice will casually walk out of there.
Because if Curse knew, even though they were down 5 kills, they were up a little bit of gold, moving to 500 mark, they may be a little bit more aggressive. Cop finishes his Guardian Angel, Now he has the Infinity Edge, the Phantom Dancer, the Last Whisper, the Guardian Angel. What's going to happen here? They're just dancing around mid. That's it.
I mean, there is not a whole lot of vision coming out for Curse right now. They have, I believe, one horde outside their base when Legion was pushing it, but they don't know where Legion is, and they're careful about that. They're scared because one good catch really changes these games. If there's a good Rune Prison, for example, the Flash Rune Prison we saw onto Westrise earlier would be a great example. You know, they can catch someone out and they're stuck in place, and you know, when you're Rune Prison, you're pretty much dead with the burst coming out.
Legion right now has no map vision whatsoever. They don't know where Curse is. Curse pinging the top turret that is down, saying, hey, look what we did a little bit ago. They want to push that top lane, it looks like. It is very far pushed out in the advantage of Legion, but they could just proxy the wave by just eliminating and then perhaps just face-taking this tier 2 turret. But Legion looks like they want none of it.
60,000 gold, they're pretty much equal. Actually, Curse going around, are they going to try and cut them off? Go for the inhibitor with a back door.
Did they bait that tier 2 turret kill for an inhibitor kill? Will Curse be able to take this down fast enough? Legion has to respond. Legion can't lose this, and they do. But the Dark Binding on Wild Turtle, Laudamoris wants to make something of it, but he cannot. Curse just dipping and diving in there, taking an inhibitor and backing off for nothing. Laudamoris in pursuit. Does he want to get the twisted advance off into a black shield at Nijaki? It looks like he does not. Now Laudamoris and his team have to respond in kind. They have to try to push out that mid lane. They can't just beat down an inhibitor. That's awful in such a close game.
They can wait the 5 minutes, but if they do that, you know what? They're going to get pushed in. Baron will be responding in that time, and if Curse gets another Baron, Jack scales so well with that. The same with Braves. It'll just be tremendous amounts of damage that they cannot deal with, so they have to go ahead, do something, make some play to go ahead and stop that inhibitor of Curse from being alive.
That Shin split push is being rather effective. He has the Randuin's, Frozen Mallet, Sunfire Cape, and Negatron Cloak right now. 243 CS. Jax, though, 5-5-4, 272 CS. Hextech Gunblade, Triforce, GA, and now the Elixir of Fortitude that he will surely pop in the next few minutes when a team fight almost inevitably breaks out here. Legion, still very little ward coverage around Baron. The only one they have is around their own blue buff. They have no idea where Curse is. They could have an inkling, a thought, a speculation that Curse is going after Baron, and that is exactly what they're doing. They're waiting for it. They are ready for this Baron to spawn, and they can take it down so very quickly.
It will be spawning in the next few seconds, or their timing is off, and they're expecting. And with that, Legion, you know, they want to stop them, they have to stop them, but look how quickly it dies. This is going to be about 10-second Baron, you know.
Oh, and if Legion walks into a fully Baron team, of course, this could be awful for them. Will they see it in time? There's a Shirelles. Will they be able to catch Laudamoris? He is the only one split from his entire team. A Leap Strike onto a ward. Will Westrise be able to chase him? He doesn't have Leap Strike up, but he lands the counter strike. But it is Glenn's Quicksilver Sash right there. Laudamoris goes down to Cop's auto attacks almost. The Shen ultimate actually saves in the middle of the enemy team. In the meantime, Nijaki and St. Vicious trying to do work in the back lines of Legion. The taunt will land on the Westrides. Rise falls. Curse 5 for 2, trying to push in on this base. Will they take turrets? Will they take inhibitors? Will they go for the game win? Westrides, do you want it? You are a little bit out of range, but Curse, baby steps. Baby steps. Don't rush into this. Please. This is their push. Look at that damage on the turret. See you later, turret. And this is LgN right now falling. Cruiser goes low. He decides to taunt in, but it is for nothing. Curse is going to focus the Nexus turret. Now they fall. Leona falls. Corky may fall to boot. The Nexus will go down. Curse takes it. That is, they're going to advance to the grand finals versus TSM here at the face-off. Woo.
Curse taking it from so far behind, showing their skills.
Wow.
Shaking hands with Legion right now. Amazing game coming up from both teams.
That was fantastic. Nobody, if you ask people predictions for top 3, it was like TSM, Singapore Sentinels, World Elite.
Those 3 only.
Guess what 3 at least is? Legion. And we're going to see who is 1 and 2, TSM versus Curse. If some